Hello and welcome to the very first live stream on my India reaction channel. I hope I'm live. I had to make some change between my other channel and this one, so I'm not really sure if it's working. I think I'm live. Hopefully I'm live. But yeah, hello everybody, whether you're watching live and or you will watch the VOD. Hello. This is the stream to celebrate 500 subscribers. Thank you everybody for that. We got that in like a month, which is kind of crazy. The fastest by far I've ever gotten any channel to 500 subs. It's been kind of crazy. But yeah, I decided to celebrate with do a stream like this. And it will be a reaction stream to random videos. Not songs, not movie trailers, but basically videos about India. So from like culture, travels, location, I don't know, animals, people, history, that kind of stuff. We will be watching various videos that you guys will suggest. So as always, like many of my streams on my other channel, if you're watching the VOD, there will be timestamps in the video bar, in the description, and in the comments, where I will also have the links to all the original videos. So if you're interested, check out the originals and skip to what you want to watch. What else can I say? You can find a link to my Discord in the description. It's an India dedicated Discord, so you can share stuff about India to me or to others, I mean, to who you want, I guess. The link to my stream element, which is also linked in the chat, it's kind of like the main way to support me. Well, for this channel it will be for now. It's kind of like, when you donate in Super Chat on YouTube, they take like a big cut, but stream element, they take a very little cut, so I get most of what you give if you wanted to give a request. This is a good way to do it. And yeah, that's about it for the intro. Hello everyone, I don't know how many people will show up. It is a Monday, and I know that I guess the time I'm streaming is kind of middle of the day for you guys, so most of you will be at school or at work, obviously. I understand that. That's why if I ever do this again, which I will definitely do, you guys can join my Discord. Again, link for it in the description. And on Discord, if you scroll down in the suggestion grouping, you've got random video suggestion. And so you can just drop a bunch of video there, and then when I do a stream like that, even if you're not there, I might pick a video from you. It's a good way to do it. I know everybody can't show up, right? So it's a good way to do it, basically. Oh, hello. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everybody. It's weird because, like you guys know, I've been streaming for a long time on my other channels, right? But this being the first stream on this channel makes me feel kind of shy. I don't know. It doesn't feel quite like the first time I ever streamed, which was like 4 years ago, right? But I don't know. I'm like weirdly a bit nervous. It's one of those things where like, I don't know. It's the first time on this channel, So yeah, once again, I got a ton of videos shared by Balatia. Balatia, thank you. I opened most of them that interested me. Though obviously, I'm hoping that some of you guys watching will share videos as well. So again, as you can see some of the example here, you've got videos about travel, videos about a chess player, videos about history, about what is Hinduism, video about languages in India, stuff like that. So it's the kind of video you can share, but again, no songs and no movie trailers. The main reason is that copyright is the kind of stuff that would definitely get this stream blocked, and I kind of don't want that to happen. So yeah, any videos, history, science, documentary, essay, etc. It might be okay. I'd say keep them under 30 minutes. I think more than that might be a bit long. I'm hoping we're gonna check out a good amount of video today. So yeah, if it's too long, I might not check it out. And I guess to this video that we react to, I'll probably clip them and post them on the channel later, as I've done before. So that's what I'm planning to do. But yeah, so as some example of the one that interests me, we have this one. We have this one, this one, this one, this. So yeah, that's kind of the gist of it. If you want to share a video, you can copy the title and paste it in the chat, because links don't work in the chat. The links will work on Discord. You can also request again with stream elements by donating, but you don't have to. And yeah, that's the gist of it. I mean, again, thank you everybody for 500 subs. It's kind of crazy how fast we got there, right? I was kind of skeptical, on my other channel, there was a bunch of you telling me, you should make an India-specific channel. And I don't know, I was kind of skeptical about it. Then one day I just kind of like at random felt like doing it, so I did it. But just didn't expect 500 subs so fast, you know? Like with all my YouTube channels, I've always kind of like, it's always been slow, and I've always been used to the mindset of, you know, take it slow and steady, you know? Like, I've been used to that, so I don't know. 500 subs is not big in the context of YouTube, but you know, it's pretty good. So next big goal is 1000. You know, I guess every 100 is a goal, but you know, a big goal I would say is 1000 subs. So yeah, hopefully I keep doing video you guys like and more people join the channel. All I can say. Anyway, we are to watch videos, so I'm not gonna yap too much more than that. Again, you guys can share video, tell me about it, and I might watch it. That's simple. So, BGM off, and yeah, let's get into it. About to start with this one. This is Shivaji Raje liberates India from the Mughals by Itihasika. So the Mughals were like a bad conqueror empire, I think is the little bit that I know from some of the video we've watched. They were not very liked, is what I've understood. So let's learn how they got defeated. All I can say. Here we go.
नमस्कार, मैं राजा भारत की आत्मा हूँ.
Wait. Hindi to English, okay. Let's do it like that. Let me just change the opacity of the subtitles. 100, thank you. And like this. Okay. Oh wait, maybe this.
मुझसे ही आपके देश का नाम पड़ा भारत. मैंने इतिहास की बहुत सारी
Oh wait, there's subtitles in English behind, okay. My bad. I'm a bit stupid.
घटनाएं अपने अंतःकरण में समाये रखी हैं. ये आपको अपने गौरवशाली इतिहास और तुम्हारे शूरवीरों के साहसिक कार्यों से अवगत कराएंगी.
Oh, where is the narrator?
आज मैं आपको कहानी सुनाता हूँ एक अनोखे वीर पुत्र की, जिसका नाम था छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज. सन 1627 ईस्वी पूरे भारत पर
1600.
साम्राज्य का आधिपत्य था. उत्तर में शाहजहां तो बीजापुर में सुल्तान मोहम्मद आदिल शाह और गोलकोंडा में सुल्तान अब्दुल्ला कुतुब शाह. डेक्कन के सुल्तान सेना के लिए हमेशा मुस्लिम अफसरों को ही प्राथमिकता देते थे. बंदरगाहों पर पुर्तगालियों का कब्जा था और थल मार्ग पर मुगलों का अधिकार. इसलिए उत्तरी अफ्रीका और मध्य एशिया से मुसलमान अधिकारियों को ला पाना मुमकिन नहीं था और डेक्कन के सुल्तानों को हिंदू अधिकारी नियुक्त करने पड़ते थे. आदिल शाह की सेना में एक मराठा सेनाध्यक्ष था, शाहजी भोसले. शाहजी सेना में उच्च पद पर आसीन था. सन 1630 में महाराष्ट्र में जुन्नर के समीप शिवनेरी के किले में उनके और जीजाबाई के यहाँ एक पुत्र का जन्म हुआ. स्थानीय देवी शिवाय के नाम पर पुत्र का नामकरण हुआ, जो आगे चलकर छत्रपति शिवाजी महाराज के नाम से विश्व विख्यात हुए. शिवाजी के पिता काफी समय घर से दूर रहे थे, इसलिए बचपन में उनकी देखरेख माता जीजाबाई और गुरु दादोजी कोंडेव ने की. दादोजी ने उन्हें युद्ध कौशल और नीति शास्त्र सिखाया, तो जीजा माता ने हिंदू धार्मिक कथाएं. जब दादोजी का सन 1647 में निधन हुआ, तब उनका ये मानना था कि शिवाजी अपने
I know I always say it, but I'm kind of like terrible with dates as far as the story goes. I remember events and stuff like that, right? But every time it's date, I kind of fail. When is it that the British, with the East India Company, start getting into India? Is it at the end of the 1600? I think it is, right? So it's before that, I believe.
पिता की ही तरह आदिल शाह की सेना में उच्च पद पर आसीन हो गए, लेकिन विधि को कुछ और ही मंजूर था. सन 1646 के समय भारत में किसी हिंदू शासक का अपना स्वतंत्र राज्य स्थापित कर पाने के लिए इन तीन परिस्थितियों का पूरा होना जरूरी था. एक, कि वो शक्तिशाली साम्राज्यों के केंद्र से दूर हों, जमीन खेती के लिए अनुपयोगी हो, और जंगलों से घिरा हुआ हो,
a
ताकि
fort in
छापामार
the
युद्ध
forest.
या
That's cool.
गुरिल्ला वॉरफेयर करा जा सके। ये परिस्थितियां 1646 में शिवाजी के लिए अनुकूल बनी, जब उन्होंने स्थानीय किसानों
Marvelous.
मावली के समर्थन से अपनी सेना का निर्माण किया। शिवाजी को भली भांति ज्ञात था कि किसी भी साम्राज्य को स्थापित करने के लिए किलों की क्या महत्व है, इसलिए सिर्फ 15 साल की उम्र में ही उन्होंने आदिलशाही अधिकारियों को रिश्वत देकर तोड़ना, चाकन एवं कोंडना किलों को अपने
Kind
अधिकार
of
में कर
interested in
लिया।
like Kundan
इसके
forts.
बाद
Feels like it's the kind of place that people would make like haunted video about. I mean, I don't know how big it is inside, but like this, hundreds of years old fort in the side of a mountain. It's all dark and kind of scary inside. You know what? That's another thing you guys could, I mean, if you're interested, share some videos about, maybe some of the supernatural, spooky legends, maybe, of India, or like location could be interesting.
उन्होंने आबाजी सोमदेव की मदद से थाना, कल्याण और भिवंडी के किलों को मुल्ला अहमद से छीनकर अपने अधिकार में कर लिया। इन घटनाओं से आदिलशाही साम्राज्य में हड़कंप मच गया। शिवाजी को रोकने के लिए उनके पिता को गिरफ्तार कर लिया गया। इसलिए शिवाजी ने अगले 7 बरस तक आदिल शाह पर सीधा आक्रमण नहीं किया। शिवाजी ने यह समय अपनी सेना को बढ़ाने और प्रभावशाली देशमुखों को अपनी ओर करने में लगाया। धीरे धीरे उन्होंने एक विशाल सेना खड़ी कर ली, जिसके घुड़सवार नेताजी बनकर ने संभाल रखी थी और पैदल सेना यशाजी कनक ने। अब तक शिवाजी के पास 40 किले भी आ चुके थे। शिवाजी के बढ़ते प्रभाव को रोकने के लिए सन 1659 में बीजापुर की बड़ी साहिबा ने अफजल खान को 10,000 सिपाहियों के साथ शिवाजी पर आक्रमण करने का हुक्म दिया। अफजल खान अपनी क्रूरता और ताकत के लिए जाना जाता था। उसने शिवाजी को खुले युद्ध करने के लिए उकसाने के लक्ष्य से बहुत सारे मंदिरों को तोड़ डाला और कई बेगुनाह नागरिकों का कत्ल कर डाला। लेकिन शिवाजी ने चतुराई और रण कौशल का परिचय देते हुए छापामार पद्धति से युद्ध चालू रखा। इस समय वो प्रतापगढ़ किले में रहे, चारों तरफ से घने जंगलों से घिरा हुआ था। अंत में अफजल खान ने शिवाजी को धोखे से मारने की साजिश रची। उसने शिवाजी को मिलने का न्योता भेजा। जब वो मिले, अफजल खान ने अपनी मजबूत पकड़ में शिवाजी को दबाकर मार डालने का प्रयास किया। शिवाजी पहले से तैयार थे। अपने छुपा कर रखे हुए बाग नाका से उन्होंने अफजल खान का पेट अपने छुपा कर।
That's a crazy weapon. Which makes me wonder, like, why is there not more weapon with like the shape of like teeth like that? I mean, it's brutal, but must be pretty efficient.
रखे हुए बाग नाका से उन्होंने अफजल खान का पेट ही चीर डाला, जो कि उनसे 2 गुना विशालकाय था। इसके बाद प्रतापगढ़ की लड़ाई में शिवाजी ने अफजल खान की सेना को करारी मात दी। शक्तिशाली अफजल खान की हार से बीजापुर का सुल्तान स्तब्ध रह गया। अब की बार रुस्तम जमान को भेजा गया। 28 दिसंबर 1659 को शिवाजी ने रुस्तम जमान की सेना पर सामने से हमला बोल दिया। साथ ही उनकी सेना की 2 और टुकड़ियों ने दोनों दिशाओं से रुस्तम की फौज पर आक्रमण कर दिया। रुस्तम जमान शर्मिंदाजनक स्थिति में लड़ाई के मैदान से जान बचाकर भाग गया। सन 1660 में आदिल शाह ने अपने सेनापति सिद्दी जौहर को शिवाजी पर हमला करने के लिए भेजा। शिवाजी पन्हाला किले में थे और सिद्दी जौहर की सेना ने किले को चारों ओर से घेर लिया। शिवाजी ने सिद्दी जौहर को मिलने का न्योता दिया और जब वो मिले, आदिल शाह को संदेश भिजवा दिया कि सिद्दी जौहर उनसे गद्दारी कर रहा है। इससे आदिल शाह और सिद्दी जौहर के बीच लड़ाई छिड़ गई, जिसका फायदा उठाकर शिवाजी एक रात अपने 5,000 सिपाहियों के साथ पन्हाला किले से बाहर निकल आए। बाजी प्रभु देश पांडे ने न सिर्फ सिपाहियों के साथ दुश्मन सेना को उलझाए रखा, जिसकी वजह से शिवाजी सकुशल विशालगढ़ पहुंच गए। इस लड़ाई में बाजी प्रभु देश पांडे को अपने प्राणों से हाथ धोना पड़ा। उनको महाराष्ट्र के इतिहास में
There is
एक
Malata one.
महान योद्धा माना जाता है।
Cool guy.
इसके बाद बीजापुर की बड़ी बेगम ने औरंगजेब से शिवाजी को पकड़ने के लिए
150k strong now.
अपने मामा शाइस्ता खान को 1,50,000 सैनिकों
Look
के
about
साथ
escalation. I mean, we went from an army of 10,000 to 150,000. How can you stop that? That's insane.
शिवाजी से युद्ध करने भेजा। शाइस्ता खान ने अपनी विशाल सेना के बल पर पुणे पर कब्जा कर लिया।
Shivaji, how many men does he have?
शिवाजी के निवास स्थान लाल महल पे अपना बसेरा डाल दिया। शिवाजी ने चालाकी से अपने 400 सिपाहियों के साथ शादी के बारातियों के
Assassination.
पुणे में प्रवेश कर लिया। रात के समय उन्होंने सीधे शाइस्ता खान के ऊपर खतरनाक हमला बोला। खान ने खाकी से कूदकर अपनी जान बचा ली, पर शिवाजी की तलवार की वार से अपनी 3 उंगलियां गंवा बैठा। उंगली तो गई और इज्जत भी। फिर शिवाजी ने सन 1664 में मुगल व्यवसायी केंद्र सूरत पर आक्रमण करके उसको तहस नहस कर डाला। औरंगजेब आग बबूला होकर 60 वर्षीय राजपूत
Are you losing with
मिर्जा
150,000
राजा
strong
जय
army?
सिंह को अपने 1.5 लाख सैनिकों के साथ शिवाजी से लड़ने के लिए भेजा। इस युद्ध में शिवाजी की हार हुई और उन्हें अपने
Okay.
23 किले
That
और
makes sense.
4 लाख की मुद्रा हर्जाने के रूप में देनी पड़ी। उन्हें अपने 9 वर्ष के पुत्र संभाजी के साथ आगरा जाना पड़ा। शिवाजी को नियंत्रित रखने के लिए पहले यह तय हुआ कि उन्हें मुगल दरबार में कोई पद दिया जाए।
So I guess they're not
लेकिन
that bad.
औरंगजेब ने उसको बदलकर
Like you'd think they would want to kill him at this point where everything is done, but they'd rather like keep him under control but alive.
शिवाजी को घर में कैद करने का आदेश दे दिया। औरंगजेब नहीं जानता था कि ये गलती बहुत महंगी पड़ेगी।
Oh, okay.
शिवाजी ने बीमारी का बहाना बनाया और अपने स्वास्थ्य को ठीक करने के आशीर्वाद के लिए साधु संतों और फकीरों को रोजाना मिठाई और उपहार भेजने की इच्छा जताई। एक दिन वो खुद श्रमिक के भेष में सामान के डब्बे में संभाजी को छुपाकर बाहर निकल आए। वो मथुरा
I see some things never change. I was watching some video recently. It's a case from like 10, 15 years ago. So there's a French guy that was hired by, I think it was Nissan, like one of the Japanese car companies, to help them because they were doing bad. Actually, maybe it was 20 years ago. And the guy was known, you know, to be the type to like save companies when they were doing bad. And basically he did great for like 10 years. He saved the company by firing people, of course, right? And making a lot of money. But and then the law caught up with him and the company for like, you know, a bunch of money situations, right? And, you know, Japan is kind of fucked up when it comes to the justice system. It's basically not a justice system. They have a 99% conviction rate. I mean, you know, you can literally not win even if you're innocent most of the time. So the guy decided, well, I'm not doing that. And the way he decided to escape Japan, he contacted some guy to like fly him out of Japan with a private plane. And to get there, he hid in a box, kind of like Shivaji, I guess. He hid in like a custom-made suitcase, basically, that would fit him. And they carried him. And then when he got to the airport, you know, with the X-ray machine, right? To not get into the X-ray, the guy that was carrying him said, you know, oh, actually, I've got some very expensive musical instruments in there. It's not good to go under X-ray. And they were like, okay. And the guy was able to escape like that. Except eventually, you know, they were all cut again. But yeah, I see it's not a new thing to escape in like a box. It's such a classic thing. I mean, I guess if you think of history, you think of, you know, the horse of Troy, right? Like a bunch of soldiers hiding in a gift of a giant horse made of wood, only to infiltrate the city and open the gates. It's a classic.
काशी, गया, पुरी के बाद गोलकोंडा और बीजापुर होते हुए रायगढ़ पहुंच गए। 1670 तक शिवाजी ने कई लड़ाइयां लड़ते हुए 4 महीनों के भीतर अपने राज्य का बड़ा हिस्सा मुगलों से स्वतंत्र करा लिया। सन 1671 से 1674 तक औरंगजेब ने भरसक प्रयास किया शिवाजी को अपने अधीन करने का, लेकिन वो बुरी तरह से असफल हुआ। उसने अपने उत्तम योद्धाओं जैसे दाऊद खान और मोहब्बत खान को शिवाजी से लड़ने भेजा, लेकिन सबको मुंह की खानी पड़ी। इसके साथ ही सन 1672 में अली आदिल शाह की मृत्यु हो गई
Okay.
और बीजापुर सल्तनत की स्थिति में चला गया। आखिर वो दिन आया जब गगा भट्ट ने 6 जून 1664 को पूरे उत्सवनुमा वातावरण में हिंदू परंपराओं के साथ शिवाजी का राज्याभिषेक किया। वो मराठा के राजा बने और कई सदियों के अंतराल के बाद हिंदू रीतियों, तिलक, जनेऊ और वेदों के
Still,
उच्चारण
don't fully understand how he won because the narrator wasn't really saying like. So in the end, did he have like an army as big as the other side, or did he win just with guerrilla tactic?
के बीच किसी राजा का राज्याभिषेक संपन्न हुआ। शिवाजी की महानता सिर्फ उनकी बहादुरी और युद्ध कौशल में ही नहीं थी, वो एक योग्य प्रशासक भी थे। उन्होंने धर्म के आधार पर कभी किसी के साथ पक्षपात नहीं किया। उनके कई अधिकारी, यहाँ तक कि उनके व्यक्तिगत अंगरक्षकों में कुछ मुसलमान भी थे। उन्होंने कभी किसी भी नारी का निरादर नहीं किया, यहाँ तक कि युद्ध में हारे हुए दुश्मनों की स्त्रियों को भी सम्मान सहित वापस भेज देते थे। गुरिल्ला युद्ध, किलों का उपयोग और नवसेना का निर्माण भारत में पहली बार शिवाजी ने ही करा। उन्होंने 4 किलों तथा 2000 सैनिकों से शुरुआत की थी और उनकी मृत्यु के समय तक ये गिनती 300 किलो एवं 1 लाख सैनिकों की हो गई थी। मार्च 1680 में शिवाजी का स्वास्थ्य खराब हो गया।
52
और पेचिस के चलते 5 अप्रैल 1680 को 52 साल की छोटी सी उम्र में इनका स्वर्गवास हो गया। औरंगजेब ने सोचा कि शिवाजी की मृत्यु के बाद मराठा राज्य खत्म हो जाएगा, लेकिन ऐसा हुआ नहीं। पहले उनके पुत्र संभाजी ने और उसके बाद छत्रपति राजा राम ने मराठा शासन की बागडोर संभाली। औरंगजेब को 25 सालों तक मराठाओं के साथ युद्ध लड़ना पड़ा, जिसकी वजह से वो अपनी मृत्यु के समय तक पूरी तरह से बर्बाद हो चुका था। शिवाजी ने जो मराठा राज्य की नींव रखी, वो आगे चलकर कर्नाटक से लेकर अटॉक पाकिस्तान तक फैल गई। शिवाजी जैसे मनुष्य कभी मरते नहीं, लेकिन लोगों के हृदय में अपने महान कार्यों, साहस और बलिदानों की वजह से हमेशा अमर रहते हैं।
Well, definitely a cool guy. I mean, what I'm surprised is that his descendant actually didn't do a bad job of like keeping the empire going, right? Because like most of the great ruler in history, they do such amazing things only for the next person, be it their son or their successor, to kind of mess it up, right? It's such a classic because not everybody is meant to rule, you know? So I guess kind of respect that they managed to do kind of good after him. Okay, very interesting. Very interesting. I mean, cool guy. Yeah, all I can say. Kind of like Ashoka, cool guy. Edonil. Congrats. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. Okay, that was nice. So, Shivaji. I'll try to remember the name. I'm sure there's a lot more to it though. Obviously, this is like a quick video, right? But I'm sure there's a lot more to know about this story. Like how he fought the battle and how he won everything. Definitely. But good introduction to the guy, I would say. Cool guy. Very impressive underdog win. Okay, so yeah, once again, everybody watching, if you have any video you want me to watch, no songs, no trailers, but videos about history, anything about India related, don't hesitate, tell me about it. I'll tell you if I can watch it. You can copy the title, paste it in the chat. You can give me the link on Discord. That's simple. Yeah. That's simple. As you can see, you have this channel, the random video suggestion channel. So you can give me videos there. Okay. Next, we have this one. It's a more recent video. This is inside the world's largest private home. Hello. Is it a song? As I was saying, like no songs. I can't do songs on this stream. Songs is a bad idea for copyright. Yeah, it's a song. Sorry, no songs, no movie trailer. just videos about history, documentary, India, culture, things like that. But I can't do song on live stream. It's a death sentence. So yeah, inside the world's largest private home, India's Lakshmi Villa Palace, architectural digest.
Hello, AD. I'm Radhika Raje Gaikwad, and I welcome you home.
Okay. Wow. Oh wow. It's a
The
castle.
palace was started in 1879 and completed in 1890. Took 11 years in the making. A palace of this size, 11 years is actually...
Man, very interesting. I mean, I'm no architecture guy, right? But you can see the Indian influence, but it also has like maybe European kind of a castle vibe, especially that tower, right? Interesting. I guess like the rooftop part that are kind of like in this shape, right? That gives me Indian vibe, right? But then you've got a lot of the spikiness too, and the color choice maybe that feels more like European castle, you know? Interesting mix.
Actually quite short. The stone was sourced locally, is Dhangadra sandstone, but a lot of the other elements came in from different parts of the country and also the world. We have stained glass from Europe,
that's cool.
We have chandeliers from England and Belgium, and mosaic from Italy, sculptures from around Europe. It's an amazing mix of countries and cultures coming together in this space. I've lived in Lakshmi Vilas Palace for 23 years now. And even though the home is over 135 years old, it's always been a home. We have these informal spaces within this very, very ornate and sometimes overwhelming spaces. We are able to carve our little pockets of quietude and family time. I'm flooded by memories of my children playing here with the dogs, me having a cup of coffee with my husband here on winter mornings when I first came married. And I remember in this very courtyard, I would sit down here on these stairs and music will trickle down from the window of my father-in-law's music studio. And I would just sit here and listen to that. So, you know, all these spaces become...
Obviously, you know, you can always say that about any videos like this, right? But this garden she's showing is like as big as the apartment I live in. It's probably bigger, you know? And this apartment is like what? 5 rooms? And this little garden is bigger, you know? I always feel like it's kind of, you know, obviously like I've never been rich, so I've never lived in like a giant mansion. But I always imagined it must be so weird to live in an house, a mansion, a castle, where, you know, like to go to one room, you want to go to the next, you have to walk like 5 minutes, you know, because it's so massive. Like you just look at the corridor behind her. I mean, I don't know where the kitchen is, for example, but if you want to go to your room, to the kitchen, you have to walk like so far away. It's, yeah, it's kind of a crazy concept. I can't even imagine.
Home, the more you live in them and more memories you accumulate. They no more remain just walls and carvings.
The carvings are the most impressive thing. It's insane.
We are now in the grandest and most important public space of the palace. It's called the Darbar Hall. This is where the Maharaja would host, greet, and attend to his subjects. And most recently, the space where Narendra Modi, our Prime Minister, and the Spanish Premier met for bilateral talks. So it continues to remain relevant and important in state matters. This space just knocks the wind out of me every time I walk in here. From the mosaic flooring with its malachite, mother of pearl, to the mosaic with its gold leaf on the walls, which still glints when it catches light. The ceiling, which is Islamic, it's in lacquer. The beautiful jharokas, which are a mix of rose and sandalwood. The beautiful reliefs by Felici. This is really a space which is meant to talk about the collaborations that came to exist 135 years ago between India and other cultures. One of the spaces that really fascinates me is this. I love the adaptation of an Indian traditional motif into a Western European craft style. So we have this rangoli. This particular design I have seen a lot in powdered rice. and women of the house would make this particular pattern, and it would be done so outside the doorway. This is very, very special that, something as traditional and intimate as a rangoli is adapted in a mosaic form, done by Italian craftspeople.
Yeah, yeah.
Another example again are these spectacular stained glasses.
Styles.
We have Yashoda and Krishna, Balakrishna in two of them, and then you have Ram and Sita. This is where the Maharaja would be seated. This is where the audience would be. We are receiving the blessings of the deities right here in this space. Another favorite of mine are these angels. As you can see, they are completely Indianized. They are in 9-yard saris, very Maharashtrian, and they have these beautiful crowns and earrings, and they're blowing trumpets right at the entrance.
Looks amazing. Looks amazing. I think that's the craziest thing. Like, everywhere you look, it's, it's not just like a white wall where you just put like you hang a painting, right? And the painting has like this crazy level of detail. It's like the wall themselves, the corner pillars, the corner wooden support pillars and all that. Like, it's the walls themselves that are carved into with like the craziest, most detailed pattern. And that's what's kind of crazy to look at. I mean, it's beautiful.
We are now in the most sacred part of the palace. This is the coronation room where the Maharaja is coronated. And this is the Gadi. It's actually really quite simple. The Maharaja is seated on this throne only once in his life. So right behind
she said,
the Gadi, we have the Sita Bhumi Pravesh, which is the departing of Sita from Ram when she is being surrendered and retreating into the earth and saying her final goodbye to the family. This is to indicate to the Maharaja who is seated here that duty always comes first. Across the hall, we have the most important paintings of the Royal Gaikwad collection, and they are the Lakshmi and Saraswati by Raja Ravi Verma. These are the most recognized
It's like a museum and a home in the same place.
Indian mythology, and we have the originals here, and they are basically facing the throne, blessing the legacy and the dynasty. This room evokes a lot of emotions for me. This was the seat of power of the Gaikwad dynasty. It is underplayed by the Gadi, which is very humble and simple, but the artworks that surround this Gadi are indicative of how important this hall was.
Cool.
So we are in one of our private courtyards. This is a space that most of our rooms overlook. And this is one of our quieter private spaces. This particular fountain is one of my favorites. I love the tiles here. We have documentation that Royal Doulton had actually designed.
It's twice as big as my apartment.
A day at Lakshmi Vilas Palace is quite usual and unusual. It has the regular chores and chaos of waking up in the morning, getting kids ready for school, grabbing a cup of coffee. But it also gives you incredible moments to pause and soak in the historic monument, if I may use the word.
Is it total?
The palace was really ahead of its time for more than one reason. It was, of course, fitted with the latest amenities. It has one of the oldest lifts in Western India. It had concealed lighting. Over time, it had air conditioning before most institutions. It was also very modern for the vision that it had at that point of time. The palace was built for only the Maharaja and Maharani. And yet you see that there is an equal positioning of both. There is no defined cloistered space for the women of the house. So parda was not followed here, which is quite unusual for its times. And even today, after 23 years of living in this house, it's still so much to discover in this home. And I recently discovered some carvings of monkeys and scorpions, snakes. They're only in a particular area. I'd been walking past them all these years, but never noticed.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much detail on every carving. You could spend a day in every room.
We We are now in our private drawing room. This is where we entertain our guests. It's done in the French style. It's got wooden paneling. It looks very much like it did when it was first created for the family. We've got a little bit of personal touch with the cushions. We've got beautiful artworks from around the world. My favorite being these chiseled shells from Italy. I like my time here. I play music. It's a lovely view outside. I get a view of the golf course and the expanse.
Oh, wow. That's
and of
crazy.
course, the beauty inside. My girls are here with the dogs ever so often on the carpet. It's really a space where we share.
Like that shot of the outside is crazy. It reminds me like, in France, we have a lot of like medieval castle, but most of them are kind of messed up. Like when I was young and I lived in the south of France, in the countryside, there's a lot of like ruins of medieval castle as well as Roman stuff, though that's way more destroyed. I remember like there was a town like 20 minutes from where I lived where there was like an half castle, it was half destroyed, but it was still pretty impressive. It was like at the top of this cliff. And so you had to climb like this. And then on all sides, it was like cliff, It looked pretty cool. But, they're like so small compared to this, right? And one time for a school trip, when I was young, we went to England because, there's a tunnel under the sea, France to England. And one time when we went to England with the school, we went to one of those like giant palace castle, kind of like this, basically. And this is exactly how it was outside, like this massive like golf course, I guess it would look like, just like ton of green grass, beautiful, perfectly cut. There was also like a giant maze, like the maze of like hedgerow, like 2 or 3 meter hedgerow, so like you would get in and you would not see anything. It looked kind of like this, just like, I guess with the mist too right here, it's like you get the castle and then there's nothing else, it's like forest and the rest of the world doesn't exist. It's kind of crazy to live on a place so massive that it feels like it's isolated, It's crazy.
And the expanse. And of course, the beauty inside. My girls are here with the dogs ever so often on the carpet. It's really a space where we chill and relax. I think this is a space where we've kind of all tried to contribute a little bit of ourselves. I've never been able to, bring in a souvenir, say a tribal mask from Africa and plant it on the walls here. It would be travesty. It's very hard to strike that balance between maintaining traditional buildings in a Puritan way, as well as bringing in modernity. The palace has such a strong personality. And it should be able to take you back those 135 years for someone who steps in.
Doesn't feel modern,
time, we have to also be able to provide the basic comforts to ourselves and our family. So interestingly, this palace was made only for 2 people, for the Maharaja and Maharani. So we didn't have that many guest rooms. And as the family's grown, we did require them. So we've converted a boiler room into a guest room, and it's now one of our coziest rooms.
Only 2 people. That's crazy.
I think if the walls of Lakshmi Vilas Palace were to speak, they would say that this has been a happy home for generations of Gaikwads. Lakshmi Vilas will always be home for us. But as time flies, we also realize that we all need to adapt with the changes that the palace requires.
And what changes does it require?
Thank you, AD, for visiting my home. See you again soon.
Okay. Well, insane place, insane place. I'm saying that because I'm not rich, but even if I was rich, I always thought, I don't think I would want like a massive place like this. I don't know. Like massive houses, even like, those America-style houses that you often see in horror movies, where it's not even that big, right? It's like 2 or 3 floors with, like 15 rooms. They still feel like too big for me. I don't know. Like the bigger the place here, the place is, the more scary it feels, like robbers can come in from everywhere because it's so big. You have no idea what's going on. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm just used to living in like small apartments, right? So like it feels right. But every time I watch video like this, I feel like, man, I could never live in a massive place. I don't know. But maybe if I was rich, I guess I would like you get used to it. Yeah. Fair enough. Fair enough. So, gorgeous place. I mean, the level of craftsmanship is 10 out of 10. Just insane. Visiting. Crazy. Good looking place. Well, the top comment says that it took only 11 years to build. Though I'm sure like it's been upgraded a lot throughout the years, but that's kind of short. That's kind of short. I don't know. Must have been a lot of people building it. Okay. Good one. Alright, once again, if you guys get any more videos, don't hesitate. Share them if you want. So far, I'm only watching Balatia video, but Balatia, thank you. I guess I'll continue. Next, we have the most viewed songs in the world, but I don't know if it plays sample of the song. I don't think it does, or does it? Okay, it does. Okay, so I'll pass. Even if it's like short sample, I'm too scared of copyright. Sorry. I guess I can just keep this video as like something I react to in a video format later. I will put it in my in this part. Here we go. So next one, we have a video by Haute Compass, Bodhidharma, the mysterious Indian prince behind Kung Fu and Zen. Okay. I didn't know Kung Fu has Indian origin.
Kung Fu and Zen Buddhism. Today, these are associated with China and the Far East. But did you know that it can be traced back to a legendary Indian monk? Meet Bodhidharma, first patriarch of Zen Buddhism and the initial force behind the development of Kung Fu. Let's travel back in time to 440 CE, to the Tamil Pallava camp. It was there, in the imperial capital of Kanchipuram, that Bodhidharma was born to King Simhavarma.
Bodhidharma.
Well-liked and well-respected, Bodhidharma was the youngest of 3 sons. And yet, despite his age, he was favored to take the throne. Knowing that their father preferred Bodhidharma, the 2 older princes tried to interfere. What began as public, disparaging remarks escalated into outright hostility, and eventually an assassination attempt. But Bodhidharma narrowly survived. Violence, hatred, betrayal, all of this disenchanted Bodhidharma from a career in politics. He decided to renounce his royal claims, turn to Buddhism, and redirect his energy to spiritual matters. Armed with new purpose, Bodhidharma began to travel. He journeyed far to the north, to Magadha, where he received training in the Dharma from the famed Buddhist teacher Prajnathara. Fun fact, many scholars believe that Prajnathara was a woman. There's substantial evidence for this claim, as well as for the existence of prominent female teachers at the time. Bodhidharma learned much from his venerable master, but just before Prajnathara's death, she made a suggestion. He should travel to China to proselytize the faith. Yes, China. Though Bodhidharma was encouraged to take the maritime route, as Hunnic violence made the overland route too unstable. Coincidentally, the maritime route required that Bodhidharma depart from the port city of Mahabalipuram, located in his family's core territory. Despite the chaos of his former princely life, Bodhidharma returned home with cautious optimism. See, it was Bodhidharma's kindly nephew, not one of his nasty, scheming brothers, who was seated upon the Pallava throne. This newly minted king regretted how Bodhidharma had been treated in the past and wished to make amends, and so he requested that Bodhidharma stay and accept his patronage and protection. But Bodhidharma politely refused. He was determined to continue along the path towards China. That being said, the young king still wanted to provide assistance, and so he sent word to the Liaosong emperor in China, requesting that Bodhidharma be welcomed to his country as an honored guest. It's important to note that Bodhidharma wasn't doing something outlandish in traveling to China. The Pallavas were a well-connected mercantile kingdom with significant political, cultural, and religious influences abroad. They traded goods as far west as the Mediterranean and as far east as Fiji and Japan. And generally, Indian mercenaries, diplomats, merchants, and monks traveled widely. The reverse was true also. There was a significant foreign presence throughout coastal India. For example, in the Tamil harbor town of Nagapattinam, archaeologists have discovered the remains of a Buddhist pagoda which was built for the Chinese community in the region. But let's rejoin our friend on his journey, shall we? In 472 CE, Bodhidharma set off from the port of Mahabalipuram. Bodhidharma made several stops in maritime Southeast Asia. The most important of these stops was the Kantoli Kingdom of Sumatra, where he's believed to have stayed for up to 2 years. In this region, Bodhidharma would have been a part of the vibrant university scene and started intensive study of the Chinese language. Finally, around 475
so this is
CE,
Chinese place
Bodhidharma
again.
made his way to southern China and arrived at the bustling port of Guangzhou.
What is it now, Malaysia?
Even today, an ancient stone in the port marks his arrival. It bears the inscription, "Landing Place of the Visitor from the West." In China, Bodhidharma's work could finally begin. In 475 CE, China was divided into 2 dynasties, the northern Wei and the southern Liu-Song. Buddhism had already spread successfully in the north. The region boasted 30,000 temples, and 5% of the population had served as Buddhist clergy. In the south, however, the Buddhist religion was mostly limited to the elite. It had not yet become popular among commoners. And so it was in the south that Bodhidharma began to preach, in busy metropolitan Guangzhou. During this time, Bodhidharma lived and worked at Hualin Temple, but he also preached at the nearby Guangxi Temple. There is ample physical evidence attesting to Bodhidharma's presence. For example, while living at the Hualin Temple, he ordered the construction of 5 wells, each featuring written inscriptions, and these are still preserved today. Furthermore, 3 gates in the temple compound bear the inscription, "Visitor from the West," and within the inner sanctum of the temple itself, followers of Bodhidharma installed a 75-foot-high statue in his honor. But this peaceful life would not last forever. In 490 CE, after nearly 15 years spent in Guangzhou, a famous interaction occurred between Bodhidharma and Emperor Wu of the Niyu.
Why China though? I mean, that's my question. Why China? Like, isn't there other place where there was probably like even less, like where the religion of Buddhism had spread even less, where it could have gone? Because China seems like they already had like a good start, I would say. So why China?
Qi dynasty. See, the emperor wanted to know about the merits he would receive for building several Buddhist temples. In response, Bodhidharma explained the Zen-like doctrine of emptiness and told the emperor that he would receive no merit for building the temples.
Fair enough. It's not one of those religion, right? It's not... Okay, I'm not gonna say anything. But yeah, fair enough.
Furious, Emperor Wu ordered
I'm not getting cancelled on my
Bodhidharma
first
leave his
stream.
sight at once. Bodhidharma was no fool. His life as a prince taught him about the very real dangers of politics. If he stayed in the region, he knew he would face problems. And so Bodhidharma crossed the Yangtze River on a reed boat and made his way to Picheng, the capital of the Northern Wei. In his initial years up north, Bodhidharma moved around quite a bit. When Emperor Cao Wen shifted the capital to Luoyang in 494 CE, Bodhidharma moved there along with other prominent monks. And 2 years later, when the emperor ordered the construction of the legendary Shaolin Monastery, Bodhidharma moved there too. Fun fact, though historians almost exclusively associate the Shaolin Monastery with Bodhidharma's legacy, the temple was actually built on behalf of a different Indian spiritual master, a monk named Batwa. Bodhidharma's time at the Shaolin Monastery was controversial to say the least, for he was an unorthodox man who preached unorthodox methods. Consider, for example, his Zen-like technique known as wall gazing. Bodhidharma is said to have spent up to 9 years in meditation in Songshan Cave, facing a rock wall. This approach was seen as a coup for Buddhist thought in China, which was mainly scripture-based. Meditative Indian Buddhism hadn't yet caught on. Bodhidharma's meditation-focused approach attracted both admiration and hostility. He gained several allies, including 2 prominent Chinese disciples, Hui Ko and Dao Yu, but he gained many enemies too. Bodhidharma's teachings were perceived as inaccessible to common folk, and traditional Chinese Buddhists...
is he telling people that they need to do the same, like just stare at a wall for 9 years? Is that the problem? Kind of understand why that wouldn't be a very popular thing to do. I mean... like, nobody's got time for that. Except if you're already rich, I guess, you've got time for that, but as a normal person, you know, you don't have time for that.
Worried that it would slow the spread of the religion. Politically entrenched monks decided that Bodhidharma had to be stopped. According to one narrative proposed by the writer of Transmission of the Lamb, Bodhidharma was fatally poisoned by a jealous rival in 528 CE. Another narrative, put forth by the writer Dao Xuan, claims that Bodhidharma died on the banks of the Lo River, which was a popular spot for executions. Dao Xuan talks extensively about the hostility towards Bodhidharma's teachings, and so it has been theorized that Bodhidharma was executed for his beliefs during the late Wei Rebellion. But yet another interesting narrative,
I mean, I could see it, like, the government wouldn't be very happy if his teaching catch on, because, yeah, like, if everybody start doing that, the country is less productive and all that, right? So I could see that they wouldn't really be into his version of it.
This time, a supernatural folktale surrounds Bodhidharma's death. According to medieval writings, a Chinese official bumped into Bodhidharma while traveling abroad in Central Asia. Bodhidharma was carrying his favorite weapon, a South Indian long staff, and there was one sandal hanging from the tip. In his conversation with the official, Bodhidharma explained that he was returning to his beloved homeland, India. As for the single sandal, he said that the official would soon understand. Perplexed by the conversation, the official made the journey to the Shaolin Temple, only to discover that Bodhidharma had passed away 3 years prior.
Oh.
Curiosity drove the monks to open his tomb, but they found no body and no buried items except for a single sandal. Since then, Bodhidharma has often been depicted carrying a staff with one sandal hanging from the tip.
But what is it saying, the one sandal?
View in both Chinese and Indian society is that Bodhidharma is the illustrious founder of Shaolin Kung Fu. Is such a claim tenable? Perhaps, but it's complicated. Based on extensive narrative evidence describing Bodhidharma, his favorite weapon was the six-span staff, which is similar in form and function.
Wait, so he fought people? I thought he was like a religious preacher, basically. Like, who did he fight and why did he fight? Interesting.
To the Silambam fighting staff and the Ketukari fighting staff, both originating from South India. Interesting. Let's hop back over to India then. For thousands of years, many different martial arts traditions found a home in the Indian subcontinent. These traditions varied from region to region. Military accounts of the Gupta Empire identify over 130 different weapons worth mastering. And in the Lotus Sutra, there's reference to a boxing art. Even the Kama Sutra contains martial references, suggesting that women, not just men, should practice with sword, spear, quarterstaff, and bow and arrow. People often assume that martial training in India was exclusive to the Kshatriyas.
Interesting.
This is simply incorrect from a historical perspective. Caste was not a prohibitive factor for receiving high-quality training. For example, we know that throughout Indian history, well-trained peasants who had served in war campaigns formed prominent martial clans. And in the 8th century text Kuvale Mala, it describes martial arts being taught at Salad and Ghataka educational institutions. At these institutions, Brahmin students from all over the subcontinent learned and practiced many combat styles. Unfortunately, British colonial policy led to the destruction of most native Indian martial arts. In both North and South India, only a scattered few martial traditions remain. Let's turn our focus to South India, specifically.
That's such a shame. I've talked about it before, but, you know, Indian tend to not really these days do well in the UFC, which is like probably the main sport I watch, I guess. Which I know UFC is MMA and there's other organization I know. And one of the reasons is obviously, you know, the way for like over 200 years, the different martial arts were like suppressed. And yeah, obviously since like the end of colonization, you know, from what I understand, India has like had a lot of trouble getting people back to, you know, this more like violent confrontational martial art, you know. So like chess and cricket has been more like promoted, right? I believe I had read recently that like there's no official support for stuff like MMA. So for example, if you founded a gym, you'd have to pay for everything. There would be no government support for it. It just makes you wonder, yeah, like with all this traditional martial art and all that, how the UFC would have been if India still had all of them, you know, with a lot of practitioner and everything. I really wonder, like I don't know any of them, but if any of them would have turned out to be practical, you know, and actually do good in like your UFC, you know, versus jiu-jitsu and wrestling and stuff like that, it could have been interesting. Definitely. It's a what-if situation.
Tamil country, the place of Bodhidharma's origin. There are 4 martial arts traditions in South India that scholars believe could have influenced Bodhidharma. Kalariyapattu is an ancient weapons-based tradition that is often referred to as the mother of martial arts, with written evidence of its existence dating back to 200 BCE, and indirect evidence supporting a much older lineage. Kalariyapattu is
if it's from a movie, sorry. I don't watch anything from movie or no songs on this stream. Hello Unfiltered. Salam Soswatika. Yeah, but it's a long one. I'm trying to like watch videos under 30 minutes today. You know, I prefer like to do shorter videos today so we can watch a lot of them. But maybe one day I will watch it. Maybe one day.
For its exotic weapons, including a multi-bladed sword whip. Silambam is another weapons-based tradition, but special focus is given to the staff. Tamil Sangam literature dating all the way back to the 2nd century make reference to the sale of Silambam staves, swords, and armor to foreign merchants. Varmam is a unique martial tradition with a focus on pressure point attacks and medicinal treatments, both very relevant to Shaolin Kung Fu. Varma Adi is an unarmed tradition that was very popular in the Pallava dynasty. It was a practical martial art with few prohibitions. It encouraged grappling, disarming opponents, kicking, kneeing, elbowing, and head blows. As a prince of the Pallava dynasty, Bodhidharma would have been subject to extensive martial training and would have been proficient with various South Indian martial arts.
Oh, that explains that,
but did Bodhidharma transmit any of this knowledge to the monks at the Shaolin Temple? Many scholars seem to believe that he did, at least in some capacity. During his time at the Shaolin Temple, Bodhidharma is believed to have taught the monks a series of martial practices long associated with the various South Indian traditions. Breathing exercises, stretches, attacks, defenses.
But I don't know, like, it's kind of hard to believe you would, because one second is spending 9 years staring at a wall in a cave to meditate, right? And then next second is basically teaching people to fight. I mean, that sounds very opposite on what his goals are, I guess, to spread the religion. I don't know. I've seen you somewhere. Have you worked in any movie or web series? Probably not. People have said I look like Adam Sandler before, you know. But yeah, I've just posted a lot of YouTube videos. Yeah, you know, that's about it. That's about it.
Even medicinal treatments. Bodhidharma's decision to teach Indian martial arts to Chinese monks might have stemmed from the need to improve their blood circulation. After all, his meditative innovations encouraged long hours of stillness. Martial training would have also been useful against highway robbers and other criminals who were a constant headache for the monks. Bodhidharma wrote down his martial teachings in a manual called Yijin Jing, and these texts were said to have evolved into Shaolin Kung Fu. Fascinating, right? But it's important to remember that Bodhidharma, though an important contributor, was not the sole creator of Shaolin Kung Fu. More accurately, he was one of several influences that developed into the Shaolin martial arts tradition. Let's make one thing clear. Bodhidharma is not the founder of Zen Buddhism. The meditative practices of Zen Buddhism, otherwise known as Chan, had already been gaining traction in India for many years before. That being said, Bodhidharma did develop and propagate his own unique approach to Zen. It was this form of Zen that Bodhidharma brought to China. So what did Bodhidharma do exactly? It's fair to say that he introduced and popularized Zen practice in China and the Far East. In fact, he was so successful that in the decades after Bodhidharma's death, Zen Buddhism became the mainstream form of Chinese Buddhism. It even came to be known as Damozang, or the Bodhidharma school. Although he may not be the original creator of Zen Buddhism, he is arguably its most important figure. Bodhidharma's teachings didn't remain isolated in China. Eventually, his unique strain of Buddhism traveled to Korea and then Japan, where it had a significant impact on their respective cultures. Bodhidharma's impact was so significant, in fact, that the Japanese developed new narratives to more closely link him to their country. For example, while Chinese legends trace his death to poisoning in 528 CE, Japanese legends follow through by claiming that his soul was later reincarnated in Nara as a wise beggar.
I am not surprised. Literally, yesterday I was reading something about how Japan's Christianity, they have like their own version of like after Jesus was killed on the cross or something, he went to Japan as a farmer or something. Like Japan is so weird when it comes to religion and so interesting. They've got like, you know, like a version of like every religion plus 10,000 of their own, which, you know, like everything can be a deity in some way, you know, like my phone case can be a deity. I'm not even joking. Anything can have a god in some way. But the funniest thing is when you look into like some of the version of the other religion and like the way they've adapted in some way to Japan, it's just kind of funny. It's always so random when you read about it. Yeah, it's very interesting. Very interesting.
Who lived at the foot of Mount Katoka, located in Oji Prefecture. In fact, of the 8 temples in Japan dedicated to Bodhidharma, the most important one is located in Oji Prefecture. And because of Bodhidharma's contributions to martial arts in East Asia, he was respected and favored by the samurai. And so if you visit the gardens of his dedicated temple in Oji Prefecture, you'll find the graves of many important samurai. In Japan, Bodhidharma's cultural role was expanded and changed over time. He came to be known as Dharma and enjoyed popularity as a birthing deity, a protector of children, and a bringer of good luck, especially during a severe smallpox epidemic in the Edo period. It is during this time that Dharma dolls became an auspicious gift for children.
Oh, that's what they are. I did not make the connection. Bodhidharma, Dharma, and the Dharma dolls. That's where they're from, okay? I did not make the connection.
The representation of Dharma dolls is based on the legend of Bodhidharma's 9-year meditation in Songshan Cave. In the legend, his arms and legs fell off due to the lack of use. Then, to avoid sleeping, he cut off his eyelids. The red color of the original doll comes from the association of red with measles and smallpox during the Edo period. Even today, Dharma dolls are given as gifts during major festivals and events, including Japanese elections. And the eyes are meant to be painted in by the recipient as part of a wish-making ritual.
Okay, but I'm gonna say, it's not just me, the stupid foreigner, who doesn't know the context. No way most people know this context, like that the Dharma doll are from this guy Bodhidharma, and also it's based on the legend of him losing his arm and cutting off his eyelids. No way most people know that.
So there you have it. Bodhidharma was truly a larger-than-life
I'd be
figure,
surprised.
even if some of the bolder claims about him may have been exaggerated.
Sure.
And now you know.
That's the story for you. Okay, pretty interesting. I mean, seems like an interesting guy. I would say to the very least, you know, and I guess like many people in history, right? He may not have been the creator of something, but sometimes, as messed up as it is, the person who managed to make something truly popular and spread is the one more remembered, at time to the point of erasing others who may have created it. Because again, it's just how it often goes, right? So yeah, fairly interesting. I didn't think of the stuff about, I guess, yeah, like, you know, monks practicing martial arts for body flow because, yeah, they're always sitting, right? You know, that makes some sense. I didn't think of that. It's not just to beat people to death. It's to, like, it's exercise, basically, you know? Fair enough. Very cool. Good video. I had no idea that was the origin of the Dharma dolls. I learned something big today. Very informative. I learned a lot. Okay. What do we watch next? Once again, if you guys have any videos about India, as long as it's not a song or a movie trailer, I can probably check it out. Next we have this one. Let's watch some of the shorter one I get. I will get to the Hinduism one. I think it's about time I watch a video explaining it. I've been kind of holding back on watching it, but it's time. Clearly watch a video explaining it, so I'm a bit less confused. I think it's time. But let's watch two shorter ones first. This one is Indian Village at 15,000 feet, World Highest Village, Komic, Spiti Valley, by Kanishk Gupta. Descendant of the Gupta Empire. Wow, the landscape looks like, it looks very dry.
एक बहुत ही कोल्ड और डेजर्टेड वैली, स्पीति वैली, जहाँ शायद ही आपको पेड़ देखने को मिलेंगे, क्योंकि ना तो यहाँ ज़्यादा बारिश होती है और ना ही इतनी ज़्यादा हाइट पर टेम्परेचर ऐसा होता है कि इजीली ट्री ग्रो हो सके। और ऐसे कोल्ड डेजर्टेड लैंड पर भी
like that shot right here.
और ऐसे
Yeah, that shot looks like one of those deserted planets, right? Which one am I thinking of? Jupiter, maybe? I forget which one is like mostly gray like this. But yeah, it just looks like the kind of stuff where you expect one of those like space robots to roll on, you know? The one they send like on the moon, for example, like the space rover, I think they're called. It just looks like another planet landscape, you know? It's kind of crazy.
कोल्ड डेजर्टेड लैंड पर भी यहाँ के लोग फार्मिंग करते हैं.
Wow.
ये है वर्ल्ड्स हाईएस्ट विलेज, कॉमिक.
Okay.
15,000 फीट की हाइट पर कॉमिक विलेज वर्ल्ड का हाईएस्ट विलेज है.
What is feet in kilometer?
मोटरेबल रोड से. और यहाँ हार्डली 60 लोग रहते हैं. यहाँ पर उगाया जाता है पार्ले यानी जौ और पी यानी मटर.
I guess most things would not grow, yeah? It has to be very specific. Things that can grow at this altitude.
इन खेतों के अलावा दूसरी जो सबसे इंटरेस्टिंग चीज है वो है यहाँ के ये मड हाउस,
Mud.
जो कि -30 की ठंड में भी इन लोगों को गर्म रखते हैं. तो चलिए इन्हें अंदर से देखते हैं.
Is that really mud? Yeah. Oh yeah. Interesting. Actually, like when I was younger, and again living in the south of France, you know, it was very countryside, and I had a friend who his parents were like hippie type, I would say, and they lived, you know, kind of like off from technology and stuff like that, right? Basically, they would not send their kid to school if they weren't forced to by the government, right? Like it's illegal not to send your kid to school. And a few times he invited me to his place, and it was like in a mountain. You had to go like to some back road through like olive trees and stuff like that, right? And it was next to like a little stream, and it was like a round house over 2 floors, and it was made of mud and dirt, basically. Like literally just gather mud and dirt and just like, push it like this and make the house, and it looked pretty impressive. And inside that like a wooden second floor, I guess. It was all very primitive living, I guess you would say. But very interesting. Very interesting.
ये है ड्राइंग रूम, जो कि एक किचन भी है. और ये जो बीच में तंदूर है, ये विंटर्स में यहाँ की लाइफ लाइन है. इसमें लकड़ी को जलाकर इससे रूम को गर्म रखते हैं, और फिर यही खाना बनाने के लिए स्टोव भी बन जाता है. और ये है बेडरूम. यहाँ सीलिंग थोड़ी कम हाइट की और वुडन होती है, जिससे ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा हीट को अंदर रख सके. और ये जो बीच में गैप है, इसके थ्रू ये लोग छत पर जाके विंटर्स में स्नो हटाते हैं. और यहाँ होते हैं ड्राई टॉयलेट्स.
टॉयलेट हमारा ड्राई वाला है, ये खाद के लिए भी काम आता है ना. जैसे हम टॉयलेट जाते हैं उसके बाद खाद दूसरा ड्राई वाला खाद डाल देते हैं, थोड़ा वो मिल जाते हैं ना, सूखा हो जाता है, बाद में निकाल के खेत में डालते हैं इसको. पानी वाला टॉयलेट तो यहाँ यूज़ नहीं होगा, क्योंकि सर्दियों में बिल्कुल जम जाता है.
ऐसे
बिल्कुल भी यूज़ नहीं होगा. पानी यूज़ करेंगे तो टॉयलेट बुरी तरह बंद हो जाएगा.
और ये है प्रेयर रूम. जब विंटर्स में ये लोग घर में रहते हैं, कुछ काम नहीं कर पाते, तो ये लोग इन स्क्रिप्चर्स को पढ़ते हैं.
So isolated. I wonder how far it is from like any other civilization, you know, like another village or any place with like stores and hospitals. It must be like super far away, right? It's truly living in like the old ways, right? I mean, so far from modern civilization.
यहाँ पे स्नो लेपर्ड आता है?
हाँ,
Snow
गर्मियों में भी
leopard.
आता है?
गर्मी में भी आता है। ये बकरे और भेड़ बकरे उठा के ले जाते हैं, खुद से उठा के ले जाते हैं।
अच्छा।
हाँ, अब खिड़की के साथ सोने पड़ता है आवाज़ में, फिर पता लग जाता है, गिर करके आवाज़ आते हैं, जो इकट्ठे हो जाते हैं तब पता लगता है।
अच्छा, काफी सारे आते हैं एक साथ?
आ गया। नहीं ज़्यादा ही होता है, एक आता है या दो आता है। एक बार 3 आ गया था इकट्ठे।
लोगों पे नहीं करते हमला?
वो भी नहीं करते। अभी तक तो नहीं किया है।
Not yet.
अचानक मिल गया तो कर भी सकते हैं, क्या पता।
They might attack human if there's no livestock to
वो
get.
नहीं है कि स्नो लेपर्ड ने आदमी पे अटैक किया, ऐसा है नहीं।
Well, that's another thing. You know, if you guys have any videos about like some of the different animals in India, I know like there's a lot of super unique stuff, and I really like animal stuff. So, if you guys have any videos about that, don't hesitate. I'd be glad to watch it. Wow. I mean, even this shot, it looks like the house are like stuck in a landslide. It's beautiful, but kind of terrifying too. I mean, I can't imagine myself living in such a remote place, right? Some of the sites remind me of the game Death Stranding as well.
किस चीज की खेती कर रहे हैं आप?
मटर
गर्मियों में उगाते हैं मटर?
गर्मियों में उगाते हैं। अभी अब इस दौरान लास्ट सीजन चल रहा है ना,
अच्छा अच्छा
इसके बाद तो फिर अक्टूबर इतने में भी फिर बर्फ पड़ जाएगी ना।
अच्छा अच्छा। अभी आप क्या खा रहे हैं? ये चीज क्या है?
ये रोटी है ना, रोटी और चाय।
किस चीज की रोटी?
ये आटे की रोटी है।
अलग तरह की है थोड़ी।
नहीं,
As if someone is on my
आटे की
phone.
रोटी है ना।
So I guess they
कैसे
still have
बनाते हैं
some connection here.
बेकिंग
At
पाउडर
least.
डाल के
बेकिंग पाउडर डाल के बनाते हैं?
तभी फिर केक की तरह थोड़ा फूल जाते हैं ना।
अच्छा, तो ऐसी रोटी क्यों खाते हैं, ऐसी वाली?
अब टाइम टू टाइम खाना बनाने का टाइम नहीं मिलता है ना,
अच्छा।
इस वजह से कई बार रात को भिगो के रखते हैं, फिर ऐसे मोटर रोटी 10-15 बनाती है, फिर दिन को
जल्दी से बन जाता है?
जल्दी से बन जाता है और जल्दी पेट भी बढ़ जाता है। नहीं
अच्छा,
थोड़े एकदम से मोटे में ना, तभी से।
अच्छा
Yeah.
अच्छा।
अब क्या करें, हमें बचा ही नहीं, आपको टेस्ट भी करवाना
अरे नहीं नहीं, कोई बात नहीं, हम तो खाते रहते हैं कुछ। एक एक दे दो, एक दे दो बस।
था। आप बैग में ले जाओ ना।
नहीं,
अरे
वो
आप
बैग
friends
भरा
को दे
हुआ है
दो।
ना पूरा। कोई नहीं, थैंक यू, मैं इससे टेस्ट
मेरे
करा
पास
दूंगा।
थैला भी नहीं है ना।
कोई बात नहीं, कोई बात नहीं दीदी।
दे दो।
अरे दीदी कोई बात नहीं।
It's always like the
टेस्ट करने
simple, humble people farmer that are just willing to give away so much right away,
आप
right?
अकेले आए हो?
हाँ
It's
जी,
always like that.
आप कोई नहीं, आप रखो फैमिली
It
को
was so
देना,
nice.
कोई बात नहीं। ठीक है, चलो बाय, कोई नहीं, बाय।
And you have to literally like, yeah, this interaction is so familiar. You have to like fight them to tell them like, thank you, but keep it, you know? Yeah. I'm familiar with that.
कुछ अच्छे लोगों से मिलकर आप थोड़ा और अच्छा फील करते हैं। और हाईएस्ट विलेज की ये मटर खाने के बाद अब चलते हैं वर्ल्ड्स हाईएस्ट पोस्ट ऑफिस।
There's a post office too? I see. Okay. I mean, it's not the most extremely remote. It seems like they still have roads, they still have, you know, stuff coming in. They might have some electricity. Maybe they have like phone reception. So I guess it is not, you know, maybe like it's not the most isolated you would call it, right? But it's still kind of crazy. Yeah. It's still kind of crazy. So very interesting place. I really like documentary about unique remote place like this, you know. It's always something. Like the way people still live in a way that feels like it's old, you know, it's like ancient. You know what I mean? I'm not saying it in a bad way, but yeah. Really impressive place. Okay, well, I'm impressed. All I can say. Engineering, hello. Oh, I'll take that. Here we go. Okay. Actually, we could watch that, yeah. Wouldn't be a bad idea. Let's watch this short one, and then let's watch the one about cricket and the one about Hinduism. This could be two pretty important videos for me to watch, I guess. So this one is a short travel video. Welcome to India, cinematic travel film by Hugo Marcy. Oh, what is this place? That's an ancient fort, right? Wow. This is India. I was gonna do this is Spartan, you know. That's some crazy shots, huh? I know I said it before, but like a GTA or an Assassin's Creed in India could be incredible. Or even like an original IP, right? Some original open world game set at different time of India, right? Where you could explore so many of the insane landscape and varied landscape would be amazing. No doubt. That's one thing I've learned with all the videos so far, getting into stuff from India, right? And I think probably like a lot of people like me, foreigners, right? Like we have no idea how diverse India is in terms of like landscape. Like if you look at a lot of places in this, I genuinely would think it's from different countries, right? I mean, yeah, it's kind of crazy. This place would be labeled with location. Yeah, maybe in the description. Maybe someone timestamped it. Nah. Yeah, I don't think there is labels. Like some place I look at, I think Hawaii, Australia, Amazon forest. You know, it's like so much of it seems like different places in the world, not just in one country. Wow. Himalayas maybe is what you would think, you know. Very cut up, huh? Alright. I mean, yeah, it looks pretty insane. So many breathtaking landscape. I mean, that's the most I can say. So beautiful video. Yeah, I guess we had watched this one before. I think. No, did we? We had watched another one like this before, just showing a lot of very pretty sights. Here's the link. Definitely beautiful. Okay, nice one. Definitely, I quite enjoyed the traveling videos, I would say. Next, we have how India made cricket $1 billion business by Bloomberg Originals. I hope we'll be okay. I mean, like a cricket video got a stream blocked once, so I'm a bit afraid of cricket on stream. but let's try. Worst case scenario, I'm recording the stream at the same time as I'm streaming it, so yeah, worst case scenario. But I kind of hope the first stream on this channel doesn't get blocked. That would be sad. Yeah, India made a cricket $1 billion business, Bloomberg. $1 billion.
Cricket, a quiet sport.
Are you sure?
Pioneered by the British, measured, considered, timeless.
Wow.
Just a couple of decades ago, cricket was struggling to attract audiences, and its commercial future was very much in doubt. Now, it has the second biggest sporting franchise in the world, bettered only by the NFL. At the
Really?
centre of its success is one country and its record-breaking tournament,
Football is not
the Indian
as big?
Premier League.
No way.
So there's been a revolution in cricket. Traditionally, what used to happen, when English cricket started, cricket in the rest of the world stopped. Now, such is the glamour of IPL, such are the riches the IPL provides, that English cricket has to bow down to India.
There are 74 games now in the IPL, and each one is valued at over £10 million for one game. There's no way that other formats of the game before could have commanded that sort of financial power or value.
The figures that are talked about is that
What if they change the rules to make it more exciting? Or something like that, yeah?
80% of world cricket's income is provided by India in one form or the other.
India currently has a population of 1.4 billion people. IPL has
That's a lot of people.
of almost 700 million people. Worldwide fan base for cricket is about 2.5 billion people. We are 27% of that total fan base worldwide. So potential to grow this viewership, immense, massive.
Really? Like, it's kind of insane because, again, it's one of those things until this channel, like, I had heard of cricket, but I had literally no idea it was big, right? I mean, I guess it's maybe just not big in France, so I just never seen or heard anyone talk about it, right? But I had literally no idea. Like, you always hear about football or baseball or, like, American soccer, NFL, right? But yeah, I had never heard about cricket really being talked in the news and by people or anything. So it's kind of crazy, yeah. 2 billion people.
This is the story of how one country became the driving force behind
But as always, I'm not the best
sporting
example
turnaround
because
of the 21st
I
century.
wasn't someone to pay much attention to sports of all, so I'm not the best example, yeah. The gentleman's.
Well, cricket is this unique English game. The English invented most of the sports, but cricket is probably unique in that the two sets of players are doing opposite things. One of them is playing with a bat, and the other one is playing with a ball.
It's one of those kind of quite enigmatic sports to describe, I think. It's the battle between runs, the number of runs you can score, versus the number of wickets. And a wicket is when a batter gets out. And so it's a contest between runs and wickets.
The overall aim of the game is to score more runs than the opposing team. A run is essentially a point, and it's given every time a batter runs between the wickets, which is possible after the ball has been bowled. 4 runs are given if the batsman hits the ball beyond the boundary of the pitch, with the ball having hit the ground.
Like an home run, yeah.
6 is given for batters who can clear the boundary without the ball hitting the ground. The fielding team bowls to the
Well, that's
batting
more
team.
like the home run.
A fielder bowls in sets of 6 balls, which are called an over. After each over, the bowler changes. The best way to prevent the batting team from scoring is by getting the batsman out or taking wickets. This can be done in many ways:
Hit him.
bowling, catching, or running out. Once 10 of the 11 batsmen are out, their innings finishes and they can't score any more runs. The same is true if they run out of time, which varies depending on the type of cricket game, and is where
It
the
is some
most
super long
revolution
one.
has taken place in recent years.
It's most
I guess That is the biggest challenge, that's right, yeah. We had watched a video before about the rules of cricket, or explaining it, and I remember thinking about the concept of like those games that are over multiple days that, you know, that cannot be for me. I mean, that just sounds way too long, and I don't know if I want to say boring, but I don't think I could quite get invested in a match that goes on 4 days. I don't know. It's kind of like, it sounds like too much.
Traditional format is multi-day cricket. So where it's played with a red ball and there are 3 results possible.
India-centric because Indian society and government put all the resource and popularity toward this one sport. No other sport has even 20% of the support and attention that cricket has in India. Fair enough, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I guess rather than like most country, I guess they support multiple sports, right? In terms of like the government having money for like projects about sports. I guess they would do multiple sports, but yeah, there's some country where they go in on one sport. I'm guessing somewhere like, for example, like Brazil, they mostly do, you know, soccer, right? Most of the budget must be going towards soccer, right? So yeah, I guess it makes sense. Fair enough.
Lose or draw, so I know people are completely stumped by the fact that you can play a game for 5 days and still draw at the end of it.
Cricket's complicated rules and long playtime meant it struggled to appeal to fans outside Commonwealth countries who had deeply historical ties to the game.
Yeah.
Invented in England in the 1600s, cricket arrived in other parts of the globe during the late 17th and 18th centuries via British colonisers.
The British took the game to different parts of the world as they expanded, as they went in search of trade, and then they acquired territories. They didn't tell people you have to play our sport. They played their sport, and the other people seeing the British play the sport,
they were like, that looks kind of fun.
attracted by it.
While a number of the Commonwealth countries adopted the game as their own, one managed to turn the sport into big business.
I think the Indians, who've been given no chance at all, are likely to give a great deal more trouble than many people expect.
When I was a very young boy, that was a long time ago, in the 50s, as a 5-year-old, I was taken in India, in Mumbai, to watch England play India.
Mihir Bose, the BBC's first sports news editor, is one of cricket's best-known commentators.
Oh, he's a
His
commentator.
most recent book, 9 Waves, The Extraordinary Story of How India Took Over the Cricket World, traces the country's rise from colonial dependency to global dominance within the sport.
The money in cricket came through, and this was worldwide, came through people at the gates buying tickets. When a team came over in England, Australia, West Indies, New Zealand.
IPL is a business league that happens to show cricket instead of a cricket league that happens to be a business. Oh, interesting. I see.
Whoever, there would be in the cities what was called test fever. People would want to buy tickets, there would be long queues to get tickets and so on. And that was the situation till well into the 1990s.
Is gambling allowed in India?
Television had shown its
Is there like a
potential in
big
India
gambling
during the 1982 Asian Games.
system
But it
for
wasn't
cricket?
until the 1990s, when domestic viewership reached critical mass, that its full potential could be capitalised on.
The cricket authorities in India realized television stations were prepared to pay big money. By then, crowds had declined all over the world. People were watching on television, and English cricket and Australian cricket found that when they played India, they could sell their television rights to these Indian television stations for a lot of money. And that is where India, if you like, took over the world game.
Okay.
While the sport's original days-long format continued to have an appeal with long-standing fans, cricket struggled to entice new, younger audiences.
I mean, who's got time to watch a game over multiple days?
The unparalleled popularity of mega franchises
It's
like
insane.
the NFL and the EPL continued to proliferate. In an attempt to reinvigorate the sport, a variety of shorter formats with fewer overs were created.
England, finding audiences were not coming to cricket, spectators were not coming to cricket, devised a new format of the game where only 20 overs were bowled by each side, shorten the game, because then you could play the game in an English summer, start it at 1 or 2 o'clock, play till about 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, and somebody could finish their work at 5 and just pop in for 2 or 3 hours. That was the idea.
That's good. That's good.
England's 20-over format, also known as T20.
Yeah, I'm guessing the original idea was like, it's a game for the rich, right? Like, they literally have all the time in the world to play a game over multiple days. So it made sense when it was like a small game back in the day. But in modern time where, if you want your sport to be popular, like, you need to broadcast it and stuff like that. I mean, what TV station is going to like broadcast your game for like 5 days, right? And who's going to watch that? And if you're missing a day or two, then it's like, it's hard to care about the rest of the game, right? So I guess that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, most sports is probably the same. Like, you have to make it shorter. Like, there's no way anyone is gonna watch something that's like 5 days, or even like a game over 2 days is kind of crazy. Yeah. But again, if you think about it, back in the day, it was probably like a game for the more rich people who just had the time to do that. So fair enough. IPL caused gambling to become extremely popular, especially among poor sections of society. Of course, yeah. Due to being tricked by marketing and famous celeb endorsements. Yeah, okay. I was wondering if like India might have been one of those countries that managed to fight back against gambling, but guess not. But fair enough. That makes sense why it's making so much money. I guess they wouldn't make so much money if there wasn't also gambling, right? With just like ticket sale and TV rights, you can only get so far, I guess.
2020 launched its first professional tournament in 2003. The shorter format made it a much better fit for broadcasters. Sky Sports televised 8 group matches and the entirety of Finals Day live. England's T20 World Cup was a success domestically and had proved the potential of a more explosive version of the game. But it would take a total disruption in 2008 to change the course of cricket. And that disruptor came in the form of the Indian Premier League.
No matter which time zone you're in, over the next 51 days, it's only one time, and that is to celebrate cricket's biggest festival. Welcome to the Vivo Indian Premier League.
50 days.
They made it into a spectacle, and the old-fashioned traditionalists find this abhorrent. To them, that's not cricket. Cricket is theatre, where, you have intellectual discussions as to where the ball is played and so on and so forth. Here they said, no, you don't need all that. You want entertainment. You want to rival what the cinema offers you, what any other form of entertainment offers you.
It's like that in every sport, I feel like. In MMA and the UFC, which I follow, it's been kind of like that, right? The UFC started in 95, I believe. And let's say for the first 15 years, up until 2010, like most of the fighters were, sometimes they would talk trash, they would like create some drama for like publicity, but most of them were still like, kind of quiet and respectful to an extent. But in recent time, and something that like a lot of the Puritan fan or the older fan are like, saying is terrible, is the way the UFC is now, where like, everybody is always trying to sell the fight. It's almost become kind of like a culture thing, right? Where like all the fighters, even if they're not really like that and people know it, right? Like if you watch their YouTube channel, they're just chill dude. But for selling the fight, every time they're like in official interview and stuff like that, they're gonna act kind of crazy, say crazy stuff to sell the fight, to get more people to buy it. But then the second the fight happens and someone win or lose, they just shake hand, and suddenly, like I talked about, you being the worst person of all time, but suddenly actually we're friends. And a lot of people are not liking that. And it's kind of not a great thing sometimes, and I kind of get it. But at the same time, it is somewhat working, right? Like this setup of the UFC, it's ultra popular, it's making more money than ever, right? Because people are doing that. I mean, it's probably like that in a lot of sport, right? You just have to adapt to the time, even though it's not that great, but with that publicity from stuff like that, I mean, the sport doesn't really blow up. That's just how it is.
Didn't just take inspiration from America's
to make it a spectacle.
Entertainment and pyrotechnics, it also adopted a similar league structure where the same teams compete every year.
For the IPL, they devised completely new teams. So it became Mumbai Indians, owned by one of the richest businessmen in India, some of them from Mumbai, composed of players from around the world, or the Chennai Super Kings, or, the Kolkata Knight Raiders. So they came up with these exotic names.
You know, the one difference is this is
this
not
has
about
caused family dispute, sinking back into poverty and desperate measure by addicts, including offing themselves or falling into further addiction like drugs and alcohol. I mean, yeah. Obviously, like, gambling is bad. You know, any case, I don't doubt it, you know. It's like that everywhere, but I think for the most part, there's no stopping it. You know? Like, even in country like Japan, where they technically, officially ban gambling, they still basically only did that as a kind of front, you know, to just try to act morally good. But they actually have a lot of loophole, so there's still like an insane amount of gambling in Japan, like pachinko stuff and horse racing and all that. You know, so like I feel like, you know, it's just one of those things where, like, as fucked up as gambling is, I think most countries won't ban it because it just makes so much money for the economy, for everything. Whatever about people's, like, you know, way they're destroying their life with it. It's one of those things where, like, I guess it just stimulates the economy too much for it to be banned, I guess.
Playing another country. The one difference is you're able to, as a franchise, attract the best in an auction, which is done prior to the season beginning, where you bid for the best players in the world for a certain price tag.
How much has the IPL, you know, changed the face of cricket because of the money involved?
Yeah, well, I mean, the money involved is huge for the players these days.
This is a time of upheaval in sport, when new moneyed leagues promising big payouts threaten to upend the status quo. From Saudi Arabia's controversial LIV golf tour that saw golfers sign up despite concerns over the country's human rights record and then lose their place on renowned PGA tours, to the proposed European
It's like that with every sport, though.
a breakaway competition in football
sports whitewashing
designed to guarantee millions of dollars for a select few at the expense of long-established leagues. And the IPL is no different, with only 10 teams competing, each under owners with deep pockets.
Just 10.
It quickly attracted the world's best players, causing issues for any other tournaments that took place during the IPL season.
Player choice, scheduling, the kind of proliferation of short format leagues, whilst also trying to...
I don't know if I like that, to be honest. I think I prefer when it's like open, you know? So like, even if you have a team that's super unknown from like a small place, you know, as long as they win, they can maybe make it to the very top. Like, the dream, the story of the underdog. So like, but I guess the IPL is supposed to be like the top of the top, right? So fair enough. But I don't know. Is that how soccer works too? I don't really know. Like, I feel like, for example, from the baseball video we watched, sometimes, like, even some team that is known to be terrible, sometimes they might do super well and actually make it, even though no one expected. So I don't know if I like this system of like limiting it to 10 teams, and it's always the same 10 teams. But I don't know enough.
To schedule international cricket, whether it's test match cricket, the domestic game, the other international formats, you know, it is quite a challenging jigsaw puzzle.
The organisation unofficially in charge of putting that puzzle together is the Board of Control for Cricket in India, or the BCCI. While the International Cricket Council is named the global watchman, money, as is often the case, wields power.
Yeah.
The humble truth here is the BCCI is the richest body today in the world of cricket across the globe.
Money.
Purely because of the success of IPL, massively. So you've got sponsorship deals pouring through every single corner of the room into the BCCI.
80% of world cricket's income is provided by India in one form or the other. There's television rights, there are commercial deals. When India play abroad, if you look around the stadiums, the marketing of the sponsors' names are Indian sponsors.
That's why I dislike cricket and IPL. Every other sport is more about the fun games, but cricket has turned into a fanatical obsession that exploits as many people as possible instead of being enjoyable. That's a radical take. I can't really say too much about it since I don't actually follow cricket and I don't have the most context, but interesting. It's good to have some opposite take, right?
Names, because they have got the rights, they want their names on television because Indians are watching and therefore they'll sell the products.
Sure.
So the BCCI obviously continues to, aggregate power in a sense purely because of the type of consumers it has at its disposal, the Indian consumer. Like I said, 700 million people watching IPL, which has probably the least number of games across any sporting, format across the world. I'm not just talking cricket, I'm talking NFL, I'm talking
that sounds like it.
MLB.
Yeah, because again, there's only 10 teams, so even if you make a format where all the teams have to face each other once, it still sounds like it's so much more limited than other sports. But at the same time, I guess again, from what I understand, the IPL isn't the only thing. I'm sure there's other leagues where maybe they have a different system where, any team can make it as long as they win. So yeah, I mean, I keep bringing back the UFC because that's what I watch, but it's kind of like, people always say, like, if you're tired of the UFC, just watch one championship. It's like the big organization in Asia. Actually, a lot of Indians fight in one championship, and it has a lot of different rules and different system, and people find it a lot more, less about money, I guess, if you will, than the UFC. So people always say, like, if you're not happy about the thing that they promote and the way they do it, the UFC, just watch one. So there's probably like an equivalent for cricket. Like, there must be one other organization that people point to as like the good alternative, I assume.
I'm talking EPL. This has the least number of games. It has the maximum viewership.
But yeah, it's never as popular,
The
obviously.
2022 IPL media rights e-auction highlighted just how successful this franchise has become in such a short period of time. The TV and digital rights for 2022 to 2027 matches collectively sold for $6.2 billion. This not only reaffirmed the IPL as the leading cricket league, but also made it the second most valuable league globally. At more than 30...
Really? I think EPL is soccer, right? And MLB is over there. That is insanely surprising because, again, I always thought soccer was like the biggest thing. Actually, yeah, even the NFL being number one is surprising to me. Again, as someone who doesn't follow most of the sports, in my head, the biggest sport is soccer, right? And then I might have said baseball, And also, like, how is the NBA so low? But I guess maybe only the US really care about basketball. But yeah, I clearly had no good idea of, like, what's making the most money.
$13 million per match, the IPL has surpassed global leagues such as the EPL and the MLB, and is second only to the NFL. Disney bagged the TV rights, and a joint venture between Paramount and Mukesh Ambani's Reliance Industries won digital streaming rights.
Media companies are constantly working hard to make sure they get the right form of content such that the consumer loyalty continues to stick and grow. If you look at the case of Netflix in the 2 quarters that went by, they actually said they're going to come off massively on.
Let's even lose a lot of money to betting, yeah. I mean, again, I think it's a problem in every country, like sports betting and, all the game microtransaction and all that. I mean, it's never been, in history, it's never been like this bad, right? Because of how interconnected everything is, it's never been this easy to fall into gambling. I myself fell for it a little bit with gacha stuff, gacha game, gacha mobile game, back like in 2017-18 when I got my first job. I'd been playing like games like that without money for a long time. So like when I finally started getting money, I was like, okay, I'll buy a little thing in my game, and like within 2 months I had spent like 800 euro on it, which was way too much, an insane amount of money. And thankfully I managed to just stop. And the last time I like ever did that was like $5 in 2020. Since then I've never like did any gacha, but yeah, I know how easy it is to fall into it. Yeah, gambling is bad. I mean, I think everybody knows that, and yet we all fall into it because, we just hope that maybe we're going to be the one to make it, the one to get lucky, and the one to, like make it rich, but 99.99999% of people don't. And yet, again, I mean, I don't think there's much to do to stop it.
Their consumer numbers, only because they're not able to penetrate countries like India, which require a different form of content. I'm not saying that they should go after cricket as a possible broadcasting theme. They may, who knows? But if you get sport, which is universal, has no language, something like a football or a cricket, which actually attracts more consumers given its religious following in those specific countries, I don't see a reason why you will see more media companies coming and trying to get a partnership with the BCCI, given the massive fan following across the world.
Of course.
It's widely agreed upon that media is what's propelled the values of teams to such astronomical heights. In the US, the Big Ten, a college football conference, just signed an $8 billion media rights deal.
Wow.
And Apple signed on to a 10-year global broadcast deal to stream Major League Soccer worth $250 million.
But again, the difference seems like that's, again, I think the NFL, like most of the world doesn't watch, right? So, am I crazy to think that? I mean, it might just be me, but I feel like most of the world doesn't actually care about American football. So like all this money is just from America alone. It's kind of crazy.
$1 With so much untapped revenue to play for, a flurry of new
banned gambling and betting a couple days ago. Oh really? The official jersey sponsor of India national cricket team, Dream 11, was discontinued as the official sponsor yesterday. Do you think it will last though? I mean, that's kind of crazy. Yeah, I wonder if the ban will last or if it will cause too much loss of revenue, maybe.
T20 leagues are being created in an attempt to ride the wave of the IPL's success.
South Africa have started fleshing out details
the biggest
of the new
betting app.
T20 league. Players are already on board. A broadcast deal has been confirmed and team owners revealed. SA's previous attempts at getting an international T20 league off the ground have failed.
South Africa and the UAE are both set to launch new T20 leagues in 2023, adding to an already packed cricketing calendar. These tournaments will put a further strain on resources and talent, especially as the current ruling by the BCCI states no Indian national player can take part in other leagues unless they permanently retire from the IPL and national cricket.
Oh wow, that's good for it.
Is that players competing in other T20 tournaments will take fans to those franchises, which could lead to tougher competition in terms of attraction, attention, and brand value for the IPL.
So you've seen T20 leagues mushroom in Australia, the Big Bash League, the Caribbean Premier League, one in England, and now two new leagues being launched, just announced, one in South Africa and the other one in Dubai, the Emirates Cricket Board. Now, the fact is, in all of these leagues, Indian players who have a global fan following are not allowed to play. That's the rule. And if you
it's kind of insane,
get, the likes of MS Dhoni or Virat Kohli or some of the other big boys that we have playing cricket across the world for their country and in the IPL league, I think you lose that many audiences.
In an interview with ANI Sports in August 2022, the BCCI Vice President Rajiv Shukla commented on the matter. Our Indian Premier League is itself a huge league, and we cannot allow any of our players to attach themselves to any foreign league in any manner.
I guess I understand why this, the BBCI was it, like why they would want that, but I'm surprised that it's even legal to do that. Like, I feel like in most sports, like you see it all the time in soccer, right? Players being basically like going to the highest bidder, right? Different team over the world who pays them the most. And again, it's just understood that's how it works, right? So, and I thought it was like a legal thing that you can't really make a contract like that. Like if you, I don't know legal stuff too much, but yeah, like that's, if you leave, you're kind of like, you can't come back, you have to retire or something. It's pretty extreme for a contract.
The owners of the IPL teams have found a clever way to compete with these burgeoning leagues. Buying the competition.
Oh, I guess.
All teams within South Africa's new T20 tournament have been bought by the owners of IPL teams.
There are 10 team owners in India. All of them have tasted immense success in IPLs. They've seen their valuation go from literally nothing to now close to $2 billion per franchise, given the media rights valuation. When you taste that kind of success in a limited time frame of 10 or 15 years, you certainly want to experiment as an owner, a team owner, and see what this can do if other leagues take off.
Now, non-cricketing countries, seeing the opportunity that T20 brings, are beginning to hedge their bets. Not only is the shorter format an easier game to sell to those countries with less understanding of the sport, but the money floating around and growing demand for talent offers the perfect incentive for young athletes.
Yeah.
Right now, we're in the middle of a hysterical event for Cricket Finland because we've never hosted
Finland.
an international cricket tournament before. I think from our
Finland,
perspective as a non-traditional
around
country, we've been looking at the data that's come out from our World Cup qualifier event. There are quite significant viewership figures which have come through purely
I wonder if we have a French
from
team.
Finnish
I have no idea.
viewership.
Probably.
And I think looking at that in terms of the way forward, that's come about simply because the game itself has become more attractive for people to actually come and watch. It's become something which is more sold as a product, has more things going on for the viewer when they come to the ground. We've tried to sort of mirror that here with a very smaller version. Obviously, we haven't got a 100,000-seater stadium as they've got a traditional cricket ground in India or in England. But at the same time, we have looked at it to actually think about how we can actually get new people interested in the game and have somebody at the game that is referring to what's actually happening on the cricket field to somebody that's never seen a game of cricket before.
I guess cricket is also pretty good, like for if you're like young, right? And you don't even have to, like you don't need a crazy setup to train it. Like you need the wicket and the like that stuff, right? And a ball. But then, like even if you don't have any sports field in your town, you just find like a field, a random field, and you can just train there, right? Obviously, it's not like perfect if it's not flat and all that, but it seems like the kind of thing that, you know, it's pretty easy, kind of like soccer, right? I mean, you just get a ball and you can play anywhere you have the space. So like most young people will have an easier time like training for it. IPL is instead given opportunities to play. Yeah. Fair enough. But at the same time, from what I understand, the IPL is very small, right? There's only 10 teams, so how many players is there per team? It's probably not a lot, right? I love every sport except cricket and hate making sport more about money and exploitative corporation than the sport itself. Yeah, but isn't it the same like in every sport at this point? Like, all of the big sports are like that, though. The crazy sponsors, the insane amounts of money for the players and all that. I mean, I think the only sports that you could say that is the ones that are not popular, right? I mean, I don't know. Yeah. Because anytime a sport gets popular, it's all about money because all the sponsors come in, all the deals, all the stars. It just kind of goes like that. I mean, I guess it's the same with everything these days, you know, like if a book, if a game, if a song get popular, that's just how it happens. I mean, it's not the greatest thing, but, you know, can't really escape it. It's modern day.
For Finland, a country whose own national sport, pesapallo, is also bat and ball based, T20 offers a potentially easy transition for players and viewers. You only have to look at the average salaries of pesapallo and IPL athletes to understand the opportunity here.
Yeah, it seems very different.
In 2019, the highest salary for a pesapallo player was about $55,000.
I feel embarrassed, I've never heard of pesapallo.
That same year, the IPL's top-paid cricketer, Virat Kohli's salary and winnings came in at around $4 million. That's not to mention the $21 million he banked through endorsements.
Ah, okay.
The opportunities that are there for players in non-traditional countries to actually have access to the global stage.
Again, I'm always talking about the same thing. Reminds me of the difference between the UFC and boxing, right? While the UFC has really climbed its way over the last 30 years, you know, on average, even the popular like champion fighter, right? Like if they're really lucky, they might make like 1 million in pay from a fight. While boxers, it's like, you know, recent fights from like the popular champion boxers, they get like 50, 100 million in just one fight. While, you know, the UFC fighter gets like 1 million on a good day. It's kind of crazy sometimes the scale of the different sports, right? mean, as much as I love MMA, it's still like, it's a baby compared to all those other sports, right? And that's a good example, right? Like boxing is kind of the same, yeah. Boxing is definitely, it's definitely like, it's such an old franchise kind of thing at this point that, you know, they get absurd amount of money. I mean, again, it's constantly something people talk about in, you know, the UFC fan, right? It's like, you know, this fight was insane, but the fighter made like 500,000, and then this boxing match was like, you know, was like a joke fight, right? And it was like $100 million or something. It's insane, the difference. Insane. Yeah. I mean, money. I don't know. It's kind of like that everywhere, right? I don't know. Like, all this amount of money are like beyond my understanding as a simple mortal, right? However, commercialization, it feels like symptom of the late stage capitalism. That's the word, yeah. But I think there's still a lot to enjoy. I mean, again, it's like everything in modern day. It's all driven by money, but, you know, if you just look at it like that only, there's nothing left to enjoy, right? So I think there's still like a lot to enjoy. That's how I look at it personally. You know, even YouTube, right? I mean, so many YouTubers are driven by money, right? Like, they shove you sponsorship every 2 seconds. They have ton of ads. They sell you their merch. And, you know, like, some people might say, like, this one is doing too much, this one is doing too much. But if you look in YouTube, there's still like a lot of YouTubers who are like sincere and worth watching. I'm not talking about myself. I'm not sincere and I'm not worth watching. Okay, maybe I am. But you know what I mean? It's like, in sports it's the same, I guess. Like, there's just, you know, there's a lot of choice, but the bigger one will always be coming with a lot of caveats. That makes sense? Yeah. I mean, unfiltered, let people have different opinion, you know, like, I don't know. I agree to disagree. I don't know. Versus playing sport are 2 different things, sure, yeah. Obviously.
Whether that's IPL, whether that's another franchise somewhere else in the world, or whether that's within the ICC's global pathway events, I think that's something which has itself only developed in the last 5 to 10 years.
It seems recent,
Every other cricket board internationally is trying this format because they think it will result in them getting a lot of largesse in terms of dollars that come in, and they can in turn improve the local infrastructure of the game in their respective countries, which they probably can't do given the current state of finances. So it's a chicken and egg situation. If they are able to successfully attract and stage the first or second season of the tournament by attracting some world-class players and getting adequate consumers, media companies will come and funnel those as well.
Now, cricket is hoping to break into the largest sports market in the world, the US.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Major League Cricket competition is set to launch in 2023, backed by investors such as
I'm surprised it's not already popular in the US.
And Microsoft chairman Satya Nadella.
But can it beat baseball is the question.
Los Angeles will jointly host the T20 World Cup with the West Indies. And there's also a bit...
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder, like, they might have to really change the rules in the US to make it compete against baseball, because, again, I feel like one of the appeal of baseball seems to be that, you know, there's so many teams, and even like the teams that are known to be bad, they still have a chance to be good one year. So that's maybe like one big difference. Otherwise, I think that there's potential. But maybe like the other thing is the culture, right? I mean, I don't know. I feel like every sport can get big in the US, so there's a chance.
By the ICC to feature cricket for the first time ever in the Olympics, which will also be in LA in 2028.
You don't like the IPL. Fair enough.
With so much interest in the sport and its expansion, investors are picking apart the business model and exploring ways to capitalize even further.
Samsung. I am filming with a Samsung phone right now. Please sponsor me, Samsung.
It has now gone to serious business where
and I am drinking Monster Energy. Please sponsor me.
Across the globe are seeing this as an opportunity to own a franchise probably improve governance, get more independent sportsmen to come on the boards of these companies and therefore attract the best talent, get sponsorships, and increase the scale and size of what they can do in the respective franchises.
Sport has become business, and sport is still run, and that is true beyond cricket in other sports, but particularly in cricket, as if it's a cottage industry. We haven't got off the field the sort of leaders and administrators we need to run a big industry like this, an industry that appeals to millions of people and which can affect the lives of millions of people, because for them it's a form of entertainment that they value.
Fantasy game which you are calling as gambling was given approval by courts as skill-based, I don't know, money-making game. However, recent law banned all money game by eating cricket as sport because of this. I think you misunderstood, Neil, but fair enough. Okay, very interesting. I do wonder if, let's say, not just the US, if cricket will be popular in France. Let me look it up. Is there any cricket in France? I have no idea. Cricket in France. Oh, there is the France national cricket team. Fourth in Viking Cup. The best result was in 2001. Okay. But is this a team in the... It's probably not a team in the IPL, it's probably like in a different thing, right? Since there's only 10 teams in IPL, right? So it's probably like in a different thing. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Sweden, Norway, Hungary, Belgium. Okay. Genuinely, I think like the most interesting thing for me is that I knew the term cricket, but never really heard much about it before recently with like all the India video, right? So I've learned about it. I've heard about it now. Definitely. Maybe eventually I definitely need to watch a full game. So like one day I think it would be interesting to do a stream watching a full game. I've talked about it before, but I've had this idea of like many sports, that I've never watched a game, doing like a series of stream where I watch one game, one race of a sport, just to at least watch one, because it's kind of interesting, right? So eventually I'm thinking of doing that. I don't know on what channel I'm going to do that, but yeah, one day I want to do that. So yeah, one day, maybe. I'll try it for the French cricket team. How good bad the team is, I don't know. I mean, what is their record? How do you... Let's see, record maybe? I don't know. How do you read this? Oh. Here we go. That was weird. I lost my chat. It's back. Okay, I don't know how you look at record in cricket. France national team. ICC ranking, 49. Best ever, 39. In 2021. Okay. Yeah, so I guess it's pretty bad. Like, is it 49 out of 50? I don't know. Or is it more than that? I don't know. I have no idea. Okay. Oh wow, I'm reading like the history. It says like in France the history of cricket goes back to 1478 in a manuscript that was talking about a ball game, a bat and ball game called cricket. Yeah. Interesting. All right. Anyway, I got no ideas. No ideas. I don't even know what. Do we even have a national sport? I don't even know. I know a lot of kids play soccer, right? I don't know. I don't know much about sports, as always. That's my problem. I mean, I know the sports I follow, but that's it. So yeah, very interesting video. I learned a good amount, I would say. And again, I mean, as always, like, I do like when, you guys have like different opinion, right? Obviously so far, for like all the stuff I've checked out about India, I've gotten a lot of like the positive sides of things, or like people with positive opinion of things, but I definitely don't want to be a channel that just does like, like unilateral positivity, I don't want to just be like a chill or something, so I don't mind seeing like people with different opinion about different aspects of India stuff, and I think it'd be nice, if people are willing to give their different opinion, and it doesn't always result in fights, so don't hesitate, you guys, if you have any differing opinion to discuss about it, I would say. That's fine with me. That's fine with me. Very interesting video. Soccer team. Mbappe is an amazing player. The year I was born, 98, is when France won the Soccer World Cup, I believe. Like, I'm always told about it every time someone asks me in France, every time someone asks me my year of birth, then they tell me, oh, you're born the year we won the Soccer Cup. I'm always told that. Yeah. Even though I've never watched a soccer match myself. It's kind of funny. I'm always like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like, because you're born that year, you expected to be a great soccer player or something. But I'm not, obviously. Okay. World Cup in US, Canada, and Mexico. Interesting. So yeah, thank you, Unfiltered, for the video. I know you suggested it a few times before, and I finally watched it. And I guess another video that was suggested a bunch of times. It's Hinduism Explained by Cogito. You guys have given me, a lot of comments about Hinduism. I am still confused about it, if I'm to be honest. So let's watch this one and see if I can be less confused.
Hinduism, the religion of over 1 billion people, is the world's oldest religion and probably the most confusing one to non-Hindus. Some say it isn't even a religion, more a way of life. Hindus themselves call it the Sanatana Dharma, the eternal tradition. So,
it is a religion from what people tell me.
Does YOLO apply to them? And who is this elephant guy? Well, let's find out.
Transparency.
Hinduism is the world's oldest active religion. It's the result of the merging of the ancient Indus Valley civilization and the nomads that came into India around 1500 BC. Some scholars say it could even go back many more thousands of years. But we won't delve too deep into dates, because dates in Hinduism are very, very controversial. But one thing is certain, Hinduism is old, like at least 36 Betty Whites. Hinduism has been around for so long that it and the concept of India itself are inseparable. Hindu and India even come from the same word. Sanskrit was the ancient language of the Hindus, and the Sanskrit name for the Indus River.
You guys told me about Sanskrit all the
ancient
time.
Persians who sat across the Indus tended to switch their S's to H's, so Sindhu became Hindu.
Oh.
So the people living across the river became Hindus. The Persians told the Greeks, who dropped that very not Greek-like H, stuck in a very Greek-like E to the end, and boom, India.
Okay, I see.
Hinduism has a long, long history. But today we'll be focusing on just the core beliefs of Hindus because I don't have the willpower to animate a 3-hour-long video. Hindus are a diverse group. Some are strict, dedicating their lives to prayer, while others don't believe in any gods but still follow Hindu philosophy. To make things easier to understand, let's break Hinduism down into 7 core beliefs. So, here's my rap about the 7 Hindu beliefs.
Oh, the rap.
You promised you weren't gonna do the rap. Come on, you're better than this, man.
Fine. Here's the regular version then. 1.
Okay.
Belief in one universal soul. Hindus believe in a universal soul known as Brahman, a formless, genderless source of all reality. Brahman is the universe and the material that makes up the universe. It's a trippy concept, but think of Brahman as an ocean and everything else as drops propelling out of that ocean. Separate for a time, but still the same thing, if that makes sense. 2. Belief in an immortal individual soul. In Hinduism, souls are known as Atman. Actions of the soul while in a body have effects on that soul's next life. When you die, your soul moves to another new body. This is called Transmigration. The kind of body the soul inhabits next is determined by karma.
Oh, interesting. So like, I feel like in a lot of religion where there's something about like reincarnation, it's like, if I have a shitty life and I've done bad things, you know, people tend to say like, maybe I will have a good life in my next life. But I guess in Hinduism, if you've done bad things, well, you're guaranteed a bad life again. So like, you're stuck. Interesting.
3. Belief in karma. Karma is action, usually good or bad actions that affect society. For Hindus, karmic actions in the past affect us today, and our actions today affect our soul's future. 4. Belief.
Karma is interesting because even outside of the religion of Hinduism, I feel like in a lot of countries, people have taken the concept of karma. Like in France, people will tell you about karma too, but totally outside of religion, right? It's like, you know, you slapped me and you just got stung by a bee. Well, that's karma. But it's kind of like used outside of the religious concept, I guess. It's interesting. It's taken, I mean, I don't know if it's in every country, but I think in a lot of other countries, yeah, we kind of use it, you know, but just outside of the religion.
In moksha. The goal in Hindu life is to somehow get back to Brahman. If a Hindu can do this, they will be freed from the cycle of life and death. This is called moksha. You can achieve moksha by realizing your oneness with Brahman. How you realize this is up to you. For this reason, Hindus pray, lead me from the unreal to the real. 5. Belief in the Vedas. The Vedas are Hindu sacred books of knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. Hindus believe that all 4 were sacred books of knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. Hindus believe that all 4 were divinely revealed to ancient Hindu sages. We'll take a closer look at the Vedas in a while. 6. Belief in cyclical time. For Hindus, there are no beginnings or endings. Time is a series of cycles, each cycle containing 4 ages or yugas. There's the Krita, the Treta, the Dwapara, and the Kali. Added together, the 4 yugas total about 4.32 million years. At the end of each cycle, declining human morality leads to the total destruction of reality. Hindus believe that we are in the 4th and final yug, Kali. 7. Belief in Dharma. Dharma is a difficult word to translate to English.
I guess that makes sense. I mean, the whole concept of like the universe and reality just looping again and again, right? That makes sense to me. Yeah. Late. I mean, I know that obviously I'm streaming middle of the day for you guys in India, so it's more my bad, I guess.
Proper behavior is the best that I could come up with. Dharma maintains balance in the universe. As long as everything in the universe, like animals, plants, and humans, follow their Dharma, then everything will be fine. If they break from the Dharma, though, things will be super not fine. Each being has its own Dharma. A lion's Dharma is to kill and eat antelope. A king's Dharma is to rule well. A subscriber's Dharma is to smash the like button and ring the notification bell. For humans, their specific Dharma.
I feel like you just lost some Dharma by saying that. Yes, every time a YouTuber begs for like, subscribe, comment, and I'd never do that, you lose some Dharma. Yeah, for you it's early morning. That makes sense. Yeah, that's right. A video to explain better? Maybe. Is
usually based on their age and their caste. An old priest will have a very different Dharma than a young merchant, for example. So
it's like a life goal, basically? Like, you're supposed to do something, but how is it decided? Or is it you that find it? It's kind of like finding your life goal or something?
The 7 core beliefs of Hinduism. With them, you can understand the Hindu mindset. Unlike Christianity or Islam, Hinduism is a non-profit organization. There is no Jesus or Muhammad for Hindus. There is no Bible, Quran, or Torah. Instead, they have a bunch, and I mean a bunch, of different sacred texts. The 4 Vedas form the basis of the Hindu faith. So let's take a look at them. 1. The Rig Veda. The Rig Veda is a collection of songs that praise and discuss ideas like truth, reality, and the universe, along with discussions on war, weddings, and rituals. 2. The Yajur Veda. The Yajurveda covers stuff such as sacrificial rites and rituals. 3. The Samaveda. Sama literally means sweet song that destroys sorrow. It is mostly songs dedicated to praising gods. It's different than the rest of the Vedas because it's set to music. 4. The Atharva Veda. The Atharva Veda is my favorite one. Do you want to curse your enemies? Or charm that special someone? Maybe learn to invoke rain? Or discover herbal medicine along with tips on warfare? Like how to make poison arrows? Well, this Veda has you covered, along with a bunch of other charms and curses. It even has a curse against cursers. Avoid us, O curse, as the burning fire avoids a lake. Strike him here that curses us, as the lightning of heaven, the tree. A link to the Atharvaveda is in the description, just in case you need a spell to get a wife or another to banish pigeons from your presence. It's great.
Pigeons?
After the Vedas,
there's a spell specifically against pigeons. I mean, damn. Someone was very pissed off at pigeons.
Come the Upanishads, which are like a sequel that makes the original make much more sense. They were probably written down between 800 BC and 500 BC, during a time when some Hindus started to question the Vedas. Their ideas became the Upanishads. The Upanishads are books on philosophy, like we would expect from Plato or Aristotle. They're all about questioning, doubt, debate, and finding the answers to life's difficult questions. A theme in the Upanishads is that people are not their minds, or bodies, or egos, but their Atman. Your soul is you. Everything else is unreal and temporary. After the holy texts like the Vedas and the Upanishads are other less divine but still important texts. These include stuff like the Puranas, the Bhagavad Gita, and the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. The Puranas are like encyclopedias of Hindu beliefs. There are 18 well-known Puranas. The Puranas cover things from yoga, to army organization, to taxation, to the caste system, to hell, gods, and everything in between. The Bhagavad Gita, Gita for short, is one of Hinduism's most...
the Bhagavad Gita. I've definitely heard of this one, but I forget well. It's probably in something we checked out. Huh? Yeah, probably.
Important texts. The Gita takes place on a battlefield where Arjuna, a great warrior, refuses to fight. Lord Krishna steps in to urge Arjuna to fight, and their discussion covers things such as dharma and how to live your best life. Arjuna eventually fought after Lord Krishna taught him the truth about dharma. As a member of the warrior caste, Arjuna's dharma was to fight against evil. The lesson of the Gita is that everyone faces difficult choices, but they must act on them according to their dharma, no matter how unpleasant.
Oh, yeah. That's what it is, thank you. That's what he references, yeah. I am become Death, the destroyer of the world, okay. That's what it is, thank you. You're right, that's probably where I know it. Indeed.
Along with all these philosophical texts, Hinduism has two action-packed epics, the Ramayana and the
Ramayana is the animated movie. I've reacted some trailers recently.
Mahabharata. The Ramayana, the earlier of the two texts, tells the story of Prince Rama. In the epic, you find out about his 14-year-long
There's another animated movie.
The abduction of his wife Sita, his battle with the evil demon Ravana, and his awesome monkey sidekick Hanuman. The second epic, the Mahabharata, is the longest poem in the world. 5 times the length of the Bible and 8 times the length of the Iliad and Odyssey combined. It rivals any soap opera you've ever seen when it comes to drama. Murder, betrayal, love, murder, and giant battles. The Mahabharata has it all. The theme running through the Ramayana and the Mahabharata is that dharma must be followed for society to function. In Hinduism, there are 4 goals a person should aim for to have a good life. The first of these is dharma, followed by artha, the pursuit
of Japanese movie
and good reputation.
Oh,
kama.
Oh, I'm guessing it's I do remember that, you know, the guy Tezuka, Osamu Tezuka, was often like credited with being like the creator of manga and anime in Japan, right? He did have some manga about like Buddhism and also I think Hinduism, yeah. And I think he had one animated movie about that. If I'm not wrong, that's from him, Osamu Tezuka. I might be wrong.
Pleasure both in body and in mind, and moksha, the release from the cycles of rebirth. Hindus should practice artha and kama with dharma in order to achieve moksha. there are also 6 temptations Hindus should try and avoid. Kama, lust and materialism. This kama is different from the good kama.
Wait, you should avoid lust, but what about the Kama Sutra then?
Mentioned above, I know. Next is kruda, which is anger. Lobha,
Fair
which
enough.
is greed. Moha, which is unrealistic attachment to things, people, and power. Mada, which is pride. And matsarya, which is jealousy.
Simple
By following
sins,
the
yeah.
Dharma and avoiding these 6 temptations, a Hindu can break the cycle of rebirth and have their soul merge back into Brahman. But even though everything comes from Brahman, who is the one real thing in Hinduism, Hindus do, after all, have thousands of gods. So let's take a look at them. First, there's Brahma, the creator. He created everything in the universe, but he is not the universe itself, because that's Brahman. They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently. He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent itself, because that's Brahman.
Basically, there's no like ultimate God creator, so Brahman is like, it's a disembodied concept, and in a sense that is kind of like the equivalent of the ultimate God in Hinduism, but it's not an actual being or something, it's just a concept, like the universe and existence itself. But then if Brahma created it, he was there before it. So then, okay, I don't know. I confuse myself, I think.
They aren't the same thing. That last letter changes a lot, apparently. He has 4 heads. The heads face each of the 4 directions to represent the 4 Vedas, which he created, and the 4 yugs.
Many interpretation, many beliefs.
Which represents knowledge. Oh, and he rides a giant swan because he's just fancy. His consort is Saraswati, the goddess of learning. Vishnu, the preserver, is
Mostly not about sex, I think. I've never read it. Yeah. Obviously, the meme, I guess, outside of India is obviously, that it is all about sex, right?
the second member of the Hindu Trinity. He preserves the world
Vishnu.
created by Brahma until it is eventually destroyed by Shiva. He holds a discus, which he uses to cut down anyone that tries to mess with his dharma, along with a conch, which symbolizes victory and the 5 elements. Vishnu has many, many avatars, such as Krishna or Rama, who he uses to defend dharma on earth. Oh, and he rides a giant eagle named Garuda. Vishnu has 2 consorts, the goddess Lakshmi and Bhudevi. Bhudevi is the earth goddess and Lakshmi is the goddess of good fortune and wealth. Next is Shiva the Destroyer, the 3rd member of the Hindu Trinity. It's his job to destroy the universe in order to prepare for its renewal at the end of each cycle of time. The most identifiable of his features is his 3rd eye, which he almost always keeps closed. If he does open it and you're in front of him, then you will have your face melted off. When not unmaking existence, Shiva enjoys long walks with his bull named Nandi.
Okay.
At the
So
end
most of the time
of
just chilling, but one day it's time to destroy the universe. Interesting.
Kali Yuga, the 4th age of the world, Shiva will perform a dance that destroys the universe. Which is odd because people have told me that my dance moves make them wish the world would end. So me and Shiva have quite a lot in common. Parvati and Sati are Shiva's consorts. Shiva also has 2 sons, Ganesha and Murugan.
Oh, Ganesha is a son.
is worshipped as the remover of obstacles, and Murugan is the god of war. Ganesha holds a very special place in the heart of Hindus.
Yeah, you see
due to
Ganesha a
him
lot.
being the remover of obstacles. The elephant head is the most obvious clue to identifying him. He was actually born with a human head, but after Shiva cut that one off, he kind of had to make do with an elephant one.
Okay, so Shiva is not that chill most of the time. I mean, cutting people's head off is not as bad as destroying the universe. But okay.
If you're Christian or Muslim,
Not just cheating.
you're aware that your religion has a bunch of different denominations, like Catholics or Protestants,
the branch.
Sunni and Shia. Hinduism has these too. Hindus developed...
That's what I was thinking earlier, like, there must be like a lot of, branches, I guess is a good way to put it.
4 major denominations, some of which have their own subdivisions. The Vaishnavas primarily worship Vishnu, and Shaivas primarily worship Shiva and his sons.
Okay.
Smartas follow sacred texts like the Puranas, the Ramayana, and the Mahabharata rather than the Vedas. They worship 5 gods and goddesses, Ganesha, Durga, Surya, Shiva, and a preferred avatar of Vishnu. Finally, Shaktas worship the goddess Devi. Shaktas see Devi as the ultimate and eternal reality, like a feminine Brahman. Even though there are all these variations and more, the core beliefs of Hindus remain mostly the same.
Okay.
Hindus believe that Dharma keeps the balance in the universe. If the scales between good and evil start tipping towards evil, then something needs to intervene to fix the universe's Dharma. This divine intervention is known as an avatar. The literal meaning of the word avatar is descent. Avatars are gods that descend to Earth to intervene whenever help is needed to restore Dharma. For example, when the Earth was dragged underneath the ocean, Vishnu descended to Earth as the avatar Varaha, a boar, and dragged the Earth back out. In other cases, Vishnu was born on Earth as a human avatar like Rama or Krishna, where he spent his avatar's life fixing Dharma. So, the caste system. If you only know one thing about Hinduism, this is probably it. People see it as an oppressive system
you would have heard about the gods first, right? I feel like some of the gods' names are
people in
pretty well known.
place based on their birth, and for a huge part of history, that's what it's been, unfortunately.
But I guess that makes sense though. Like, it was explaining the Dharma, was it? Which is like your life goal, maybe? Again, that's how I took it personally. But I guess maybe the caste system is like giving someone their life goal from, you know, what their parents were. But maybe I'm wrong and you don't find your own life goal, your own Dharma. Maybe someone gives it to you, yeah? I don't know.
Let's do a quick explanation of what the caste system is. In Hinduism, there are 4 castes or classes that you can be born into. There's the Brahmin, the priest, the Kshatriyas, the warriors, the Vishyas, the traders, and the Shudras, the manual laborers. The main basis for the caste system can be found in the Bhagavad Gita and the Rig Veda. Krishna says in the Gita, "I have created a 4-fold system in order to distinguish among one's qualities and functions." The Rig Veda also refers to the 4 castes. It says humans were created from parts of the god Purusha, the Brahmin from his face, the Kshatriya from his arms, the Vaishya his thighs, and the Shudra his feet. This system was supposed to assign people functions based on their abilities, not their birth.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
If someone had the qualities of a Brahmin or a Vaishya, they could fill those roles. The Gita didn't restrict movement among castes, and the caste system functioned as intended for a while, until a document known as the Laws of Manu came about around the 5th century BC, popularly referred to as the Manusmriti.
Not always related to
hard
occupation.
rules for Hindu life.
Okay.
2 rules presented in it contributed to the way the caste system turned out. Manu states that...
So, like, you could be, like, your job could be, I don't know, like, a metal worker, but your Dharma or life goal, I don't know if that's a good way to put it, could be, I don't know, to open a private school or something, and that would be your Dharma? Maybe? Does that make sense?
Brahmin were the lords of all castes, and he forbid moving among the castes. The caste you were born into was now the caste you're stuck in.
There's always someone who comes in to exploit everything.
And things will go sour pretty quickly. As time passed, Hindus began thinking in terms of upper and lower castes. Soon, cleaning toilets, tanning leather, and dealing with
Father,
meat
mother
products were
also have their Dharma to follow, even children have their Dharma to follow.
thought to be impure. The people doing those jobs became untouchables, the lowest of the low, a people without caste. And the rest is history. The modern world has brought many changes though. Now Hindus mix freely while working together in the same businesses, attending the same schools, and generally just living together. But when it comes to marriage, many Hindus still stick to their own caste. But this too is changing, and on Hindu dating websites you can actually see people list a non-preference for caste. It'll say, caste no bar.
So it's what you're pursuing right now? So like, since I'm doing YouTube, my Dharma is just doing YouTube? Is that how it works? Or is that like not a good thing and, you know, that doesn't count? I don't know.
So, those are the basics of Hinduism. It isn't even close to covering everything.
I'm
The video
sure.
simply can't do it. Hinduism is too diverse, too deep, and means too many different things to different people. But learning even the basics of this fascinating and ancient
It's
religion
difficult to
gives
translate.
us an
Got
insight
it.
into the worldview
Oh, yes.
of over 1 billion people. And I hope you enjoyed it. You can find all the sources used
Interesting.
in the description below. If you would like to follow your correct dharma, then please subscribe. If you're interested in supporting the channel, there are links to my t-shirt store and Patreon also in the description. Thank you so much for
I
watching.
hope someone's dharma is not just subscribing to YouTube channels. I mean, there has to be more they can do. Damn. But yeah, very interesting. I mean, I know you guys have tried to explain to me through comments a lot, Bharatiya yourself, right? About Hinduism, but this definitely, was a clear way to look at it, like a more, a video way to be educated, with some visualization and all that. So that makes sense, yeah. I mean, obviously, I'm still like tying some of the stuff that I read from you guys to this video, but I've got a better idea now. I feel less confused. But yeah, I definitely understand more than before. That's what I can say. I was still confused. Like, for example, like not long ago, I was reacting to the animated movie trailer, Ramayana, and I was talking about a Japanese game called Asura's Wrath, which I used to really like. But it's basically a game about like a guy whose daughter is killed, I believe. It's called Asura, right? And he's one of the gods, with a lot of arms. And basically it's kind of like God of War, but with Hindu deities. So he goes on to kill all the deities and all that. And I always thought it was a cool game. And I still kind of think that, right? But some people in the comments were telling me that, it's actually super offensive. And I was confused because I thought from what people had told me that, in Hinduism, you don't actually like worship deity in that way. Like they can be looked at different way. And, I assumed that in media it would be the same. Like, depending on what media, it's probably okay to portray them in different way. But at least from what one guy was telling me, it wasn't. And maybe, again, it's just that one guy is like, what's the word for it? Branches of Hinduism where it's not okay. Maybe in some other one it's okay to portray the gods in whatever way you find interesting. I don't know. But yeah, again, I'm definitely like adjusting the way I'm thinking about all this, or like what I've thought I understood. It's interesting. It's interesting. But I guess like most religion is kind of like I probably most of the time I feel like I should avoid talking too much about it as someone who's not religious, because I'm definitely going to say something that's going to piss someone off, right? It's probably kind of hard for me as someone who's not religious to talk about it at time, without saying something offensive to someone, right? But at least now I've got a better understanding of it, which is a good thing, obviously. I genuinely didn't really know anything about it before. So I would say pretty interesting, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Here's the link. Good video. Maybe next time, Bharatiya, I think I'd rather watch more variety video, like we watched one about Hinduism today, and, maybe next time we could watch another one. I just kind of want to watch a diverse video today for you guys about like different subjects and different things. I might stream for another hour or two, so maybe next time, yeah. So, good video. British translated Dharma, religion. Yeah, that doesn't sound quite right. Fair enough. That definitely sounds kind of off. Fair enough. But I guess I got the concept now. More or less. It's just basically, I mean, again, to me, it sounds like your life goal. Yeah, like what you're trying to do. Though I'm guessing it has to be positive, right? I don't know. Like, if your life goal is to just be rich, I mean, actually, does it have to be positive? I don't know. If your life goal is to be rich, it doesn't work with the other guidelines of that he talked about. So maybe it wouldn't work as a dharma. Called Hindu Dharma in local language, which gets translated into English as Hinduism. Oh, okay. I see. Translations. Okay, really interesting video. we're gonna watch more videos. If you guys have anything you want to share, as long as it's not songs or movie trailer, you can share it. But yeah, I'm gonna take 5 minutes, get something to drink. I am coming back. Give me a little bit. Sorry for the wait. I have returned. Okay. Was the chat blank since the beginning? Or is it just since I come back? Oh yeah, okay, I didn't think of it. I mean, no one said anything, but I'm guessing the chat wasn't showing up on screen because I'm on a different account and I didn't set up the... obviously, you know, to stream between like my other channel and this one, I had to do some change in my OBS, the streaming software. I didn't think of it, but to get the chat showing up, I probably would have to do something as well. Yeah. So we don't really need the chat, you know. We could just watch stuff like this, I guess. But you know, I'll leave it like that, and maybe for next time I'll try to figure out how to do it, but I don't actually know. Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I definitely can't do anything right now. I don't quite remember how to do it, like showing up the chat. So it's fine, you know. Okay, anyone shared anything new on Discord? Not quite. Some current stuff. I think I'll pass unfiltered. I mean, all the stuff about the current conflicts, it's pretty depressing, and I don't know. I think I'll pass. I don't feel like watching that too much. Indian like geopolitical videos. Yeah, but I don't know. Like I've reacted to stuff about the war in Ukraine before, and it just feels kind of depressing, you know? Like already outside the stream, it's always, you know, you can't avoid the news, and you know, I think I'll pass. Maybe another time. Maybe. If you have anything else, though, don't hesitate. So we have exactly how good was Vishy, Anand, chess documentary by 64 Square.
There are legends, and then there is Vishwanathan Anand.
Hi. Hello.
A man who revolutionized chess, broke barriers, and made the world believe that a boy from India could dominate the sport. This is the story of a prodigy, a warrior, and a genius who changed
Is there only sound in one side, or is it just me?
Born in Chennai, India, in 1969, Anand's rise in Indian chess was meteoric. By 14, he was the national champion. By 15, he
Yeah, I don't know why. It's only on the left side.
became India's first ever international master. And at 18, he won the World Junior Chess Championship, becoming one of the most promising talents in the world. In a time when chess was slow, methodical, and orthodox, Anand's lightning-quick play earned him a nickname that would follow him forever: the Lightning Kid.
That's a cool
One of
name.
the things that was incredibly scary was Vishy and Anand at 17 and 18. Dude played the whole game in 10 minutes. I mean, you got 2 hours.
Okay. No time to waste. Let's get things to do. Was he better than the current best Indian chess player? I forget his name.
Kasparov, Karpov, and the legendary Soviet chess schools dominated the global stage.
I've not played chess myself.
For a young Indian player, entering this arena was like stepping into a lion's den.
Moving your screen over to H2, Trevor only 8 seconds is clock. Anand with 11. They both have to whip off the moves. 9 to 3. 10 seconds. 9 seconds. 9 seconds to 5, and they're just whipping moves off. Anand needs to move. He doesn't realize he's got so little time. 5 seconds. 4 seconds. 4 seconds each. 4 seconds. 3 seconds. 2, 3, 2. Anand is only 2 seconds. He has 2 seconds.
Oh, he inspired.
1 second. And now he asks for a quick.
A good teacher guide. I see.
In 1995, the world watched as a young Anand challenged Garry Kasparov, the reigning world champion and one of the most dominant players in chess.
And I don't know if you guys know the Deep Blue story. This video by the channel Down the Rabbit Hole that I really recommend. It's about it's called Deep Blue. It's about Kasparov basically fighting against a computer chess program. Like in the early days, it was maybe in the 80s, I think. And it was basically like the idea of some researchers were trying to make a chess program that could beat like one of the best players of all time. And Kasparov was basically just trying to be someone who could like still win against the machine. It's a very interesting story.
History. Held at the World Trade Center in New York, this match was Anand's first shot at the ultimate crown.
And Kasparov, totally red, totally desperate in this position, having no move at all, and the champion sensing defeat. Incredible. He knows he's lost, and he must be regretting capturing Anand's rook in the middle of the board. It just left the pawns too strong in the center. And the bear had been caged. Kasparov finally admitting that he was lost, resigning, totally disgusted with himself, now down a point in this match. As ever, Anand
At least it didn't smash
self-composed, but underneath it all,
the table.
He must be ecstatic. This is a tremendous upset. He's taken the lead.
For a moment, it seemed like the crown might change hands. Anand's Game 9 victory was a masterpiece of preparation and execution. But the match was far from over. Kasparov, fueled by experience and sheer will, struck back with a vengeance.
Totally devastating, and there was no point in continuing the massacre, so Anand decided to resign, and Kasparov had scored his first victory in the match.
Kasparov won 4 of the next 5 games, proving why he was the undisputed champion. For Anand, it was a bitter defeat, but also a defining one. It showed the world he could challenge the best, even if he wasn't ready to dethrone them yet.
You learn a lot about yourself. I mean, how you handle yourself in pressure, and how to deal with surprises, and how to, But what it is basically is that you have somebody who's really focusing, every ounce of energy in his body on you. In a tournament, this is not the case. It's you don't feel this intensity.
In 2000, Anand captured his first world title by winning the FIDE World Chess Championship. In 2003, he won the FIDE World Rapid Championship, a title he would go on to claim multiple times. In 2007, Anand achieved what many considered impossible. He became the undisputed world chess champion. Competing against the world's elite in a double round-robin format, Anand emerged victorious with his unshakable consistency and preparation.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
The year was 2008. Vladimir Kramnik, the man who had dethroned Garry Kasparov, was considered one of the greatest positional players ever. But in Bonn, Germany, Anand was ready to rewrite history.
He's gonna destroy him, I assume. Massacre him, as they said.
By the end of the 11-game match, Anand had secured victory with a score of 6.5 to 4.5, retaining his world champion title.
Maybe it's not that.
It wasn't
Okay.
just the result, but the manner of his triumph that stunned the chess world. The 2008 championship solidified Anand's reputation as a player who could not only innovate, but also dominate. It was a match that showcased his peak form, both mentally and creatively. From 2007 to 2012, Anand ruled the chess world as the undisputed world champion, defending his title against some of the greatest players of his era.
I like how this is like late 2000, but the video make it seem like this is footage from like the 70s or 80s.
He was dominating. His ability to switch gears, adapt, and stay calm under pressure set him apart. Anand wasn't just defending his title, he was creating a legacy.
Well, things really went my way, and that's all you can say. I think I can say that I won because I won, and that's it.
I won because I won.
2013, Chennai. A young Norwegian prodigy
Ah,
dethrones a
that's the
king.
guy.
Magnus Carlsen defeats Vishy Anand,
I was gonna say
ending
Carlos.
the reign of one of the
That wasn't his
greatest
name.
champions chess has ever known.
And then I guess the current best Indian guy came back to take a revenge after 10 years.
Silenced critics by dominating the 2014 candidates tournament.
There's a story of revenge.
While he fell to Carlsen again in the rematch later that year, Anand's message was clear. He was far from done.
Missing something, because otherwise Vishy would have already gone for this. Rook takes c. He takes. Rook c5, queen c5, queen e4.
Oh my god.
Or maybe it's Magnus who missed something. Maybe it's Magnus who missed something, because...
Oh my god, yes.
And look at Vishy. I mean, this usually, when he looks at you like this, and believe me, I've been in this situation once. When he looks at you like this, yeah, it means you are in trouble, my friend.
By 2017, many believed Anand's best years were behind him. At 48, he was competing against a generation of younger, faster players, including the reigning world champion Magnus Carlsen. But what unfolded at the World Rapid Chess Championship in Riyadh was nothing short of legendary. Anand finished undefeated with
So
a
he won.
score of
Nice.
10.5 out of 15,
Nice.
a testament to his dominance and resilience.
Oh, I'm just unbelievably happy. This was so unexpected. I mean, I won many World Rapid titles, but recently I had the feeling it was slipping away, and honestly, I came here just
It's
hoping
always
for a
cool
good performance.
when
I
you
was
have like
not even thinking
a
that I
last
could
hurrah.
win, and it's such a pleasant surprise.
Legacy.
Before Anand, chess in India was a niche pursuit, but his success transformed it
Really?
into a national obsession, inspiring generations of players and putting India on the global chess map. Today, the likes of Pragnananda, Nihal Saren, and Gukesh continue to build on the foundation.
I think Gukesh is who I'm referring to. the current best guy. I think it's Gukesh. Okay. Well, my left ear really enjoyed this video. But that was nice. Again, I don't really know how to play the game, so I can't really comment on how good he is or anything. But clearly, he's one of the best. Is he retired? I guess with chess, in my mind, it's not like the kind of sport where, you know, I feel like you can keep playing forever, right? Though obviously when you get older, your mind is maybe slower, yeah. So I guess you can't compete with the very best. Fair enough. Yeah. Yes. Here's the link. Good video. Good video. Very interesting. Okay. Seems like a cool guy. Anything new on Discord? Nope. Fair enough. What do we watch next? Oh, space stuff. Okay. Why not? We have 2 videos about space. The story of the first Indian to go to space, Rakesh Sharma, by Brute India.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको? सारे जहां से अच्छा.
84. Okay. 49. Military. 66. The Air Force. Best pilot. Combat mission. Oh, India-Pakistan war. MiG-21. Anand. Soviet-Indian spaceflight. Okay. 2 years of training. Illegal Gaganyaan. Locked in a room. Oh wow. That's some hardcore training. Claustrophobia.
हमारी ट्रेनिंग बहुत रवीश मल्होत्रा की और मेरी दोनों की ट्रेनिंग काफी मुश्किल थी.
I feel second 84.
बड़ी ट्रेनिंग की जरूरत थी जिसकी वजह से हम बगैर किसी तकलीफ के सक्सेसफुल डॉकिंग कर पाए हैं.
Soyuz T-11. Seven days, 21 hours and 40 minutes. That's nice. Material processing. Yoga. Ashok Chakra. I'm guessing that's like the Ayasana or something.
स्क्वाड्रन लीडर राकेश शर्मा इस चुनौतीपूर्ण मिशन के लिए आगे आए.
2001. Light Combat Aircraft Program. You wish he was younger.
क्योंकि हम स्पेस एक्टिविटी हमारे कंट्री में सही तरीके से
I can only imagine, yeah, like some of the astronauts who went to space back in the 70s, 80s, right? You know, with the development now, right, and all that, it's like now you're too old to do it, and you know that you're not going to live a lot longer, and you just wish that you had been born like more recently to be able to do the current stuff that they do, or even maybe in like 50 years, 100 years, when we might go even further into space. I can only imagine those kind of feelings, of like not being able to join the current generation.
This program ab shuru ho raha hai.
Okay. Well, very interesting. I guess I see why he's a legend. Poor guy, yeah. Definitely. I guess we've got a second video about space. The Gaganyaan, the Gaganyaan mission meet the Indian astronauts shooting off to space. Vantage with Palki Sharma by the first post. It's the next mission. I think we'd watched a video about it before, the ISRO, but I think it was like postponed because of COVID and all that, right? So it didn't happen yet, I think, but it's happening soon, if I'm not wrong.
In 2023, India landed on the moon and aimed for the sun. This year, India is planning for another space milestone. Its first manned space mission, Gaganyaan. The launch will happen in 2025. The mission will carry 3 people to a low Earth orbit. They will stay there for 3 days. Today, the Prime Minister revealed the names of these astronauts, the ones who will be part of the mission. And if the mission succeeds, India will achieve new space glory. It will become only the 4th country in the world to send humans into space. Our next report tells you how India is pushing boundaries in space.
It's the same mission.
The year was 1984. It was a freezing evening in Soviet Kazakhstan. But Rakesh Sharma was in a pearly white spacesuit. He was inside the Soyuz T-11 spacecraft, gearing for takeoff at the Baikonur Cosmodrome. Over 2,000 kilometers away, people in India were glued to their TV screens. Yeah. After all, he was the first Indian heading to space. Rakesh Sharma's flight was historic, but it was on board a Russian spacecraft.
Fair enough.
40 years later, India wants to send more Indians to space. This time on an Indian spacecraft. It's called the Gaganyaan mission. In Sanskrit, it means the celestial vehicle. The Gaganyaan is slated for launch in 2025. It will carry a 3-member crew to a low Earth orbit, around the distance of 400 kilometers. They will be there for 3 days. They will then be brought back to Earth, landing in Indian sea waters. The total cost of the mission is 900 crore rupees. That's around $1 billion.
Crazy.
Today, Prime Minister Modi was in the state
But
of
that
Kerala.
is space stuff.
He visited the Vikram Sarabhai
Insanely
Space
expensive.
Center. There, he named the astronauts chosen for the mission. They are Group Captain Prashant Balakrishnan Nair, Group Captain Ajit Krishnan,
Ajit,
Group Captain Angad Pratap, and Wing Commander Subhanshu Shukla.
Okay.
ये सिर्फ 4 नाम और 4 इंसान नहीं है, ये 140 करोड़ एस्पिरेशंस को स्पेस में ले जाने वाली 4 शक्तियां हैं.
40 years.
40 वर्ष के बाद कोई भारतीय अंतरिक्ष में जाने वाला है, लेकिन इस बार टाइम भी हमारा है.
Oh, miscalculation.
काउंटडाउन भी हमारा है.
Well, it's still an insane amount of money, right?
रॉकेट भी हमारा है.
Beyond us normal people's comprehension.
These 4 men were selected from a pool of Air Force pilots. They have undergone extensive tests, both physical and psychological. They first received training in Russia. This was for a period of 13 months. Now they are being trained in Bengaluru. Gaganyaan could be a game changer for India's space sector. If successful, India could be the 4th country in the world to send humans to space. after the US, Soviet Union, and China.
I was literally trying to think,
जानकर
China,
बहुत
that's right.
अच्छा लगा कि गगनयान में यूज होने वाले ज्यादातर उपकरण मेड इन इंडिया है। कि कितना बड़ा संयोग है कि जब भारत दुनिया की टॉप 3 इकोनॉमी बनने के लिए उड़ान भर रहा है,
A coincidence.
उसी समय भारत का गगनयान भी
Obviously,
हमारे
like, it took all this time because you need crazy money.
एक
Yeah?
नई
Makes sense.
बुलंदी पर ले जाने वाला है।
Last year, India made history. It became the first country to land near the moon's south pole. Just weeks later, India also launched Aditya L1. This was its first observation mission to the sun.
Okay.
India has more ambitious plans in the wings. There's the Gaganyaan mission that's slated for 2025, but that's not all. India aims to set up its own space station by 2035. It
35,
also
yeah.
wants to send an astronaut to the moon by 2040. But the success of all of that hinges on the Gaganyaan mission. It's
Yeah.
one takeoff that India will watch with bated breath.
It's kind of scary, obviously. I mean, even though we see, other countries have done it, right? There's been a lot of mistakes. I think, like, every other country to do it have had some big mistake and tragedies, right? So I think, like, the most impressive thing India could do is just not have anyone die, right? Like, yeah, obviously, there's a lot of, like, there's, like, decades of knowledge from different countries to rely on, but even then, like, we all know how crazy and complicated it is to send people into space. I don't know what percentage of, like, the percentage of chance of bad stuff happening is, but yeah, I think that would be the most impressive thing. Yeah, just everything goes well, right? As far as, like, no one lose their life, even if, like, something goes wrong with, like, your rocket or something, whatever, but as long as people are okay, that's probably, like, the most impressive thing, So, yeah, looking forward to see how it works out, I don't know when is the date now for this. When is it happening now? Soon? Maybe? Okay. Here's the link. Good video. Very interesting. Alright. Very nice. And yeah, we had watched the video before about the ISRO, the India Space Program Organization, which was pretty cool. Also, it's still happening for the end of 2025, okay? Well, I'm sure you guys will keep me updated. Definitely. Awesome. Okay. What do we watch next? Oh yeah, we have this one. You told me about the festival recently, I believe. If I'm not confusing it with a different one. This is Ganesh Chaturthi special. Shocking fact about Ganpati festival, which I think it started, like, is it starting today? No, it was the 28th, I think. Which I need to remember to record some of the songs you shared. I got so many recommendations of songs that I need to remember. So yeah, I guess let's learn about it. Abhi and Niyu, 11 months ago.
गणपति बप्पा हर साल भारत की इकोनॉमी को बचाते हैं। क्या बकवास है?
हाँ,
माना कि गणपति के समय हमारे शहर जगमगा उठते हैं, हर घर में नई रौनक होती है, हम दोस्तों से मिलते हैं और ढेर सारा खाना खाते हैं। लेकिन इसका भारत की इकोनॉमी से क्या कनेक्शन?
So Wednesday.
चलिए आज के इस वीडियो में समझते हैं कि गणपति के इन 10 दिनों में भारत के लोग कितने पैसे कमाते हैं।
इस फेस्टिवल का टोटल टर्नओवर कितना है, कितने आइडल्स बनते हैं, कितने फूल बिकते हैं और इससे हमें क्या फर्क पड़ता है। अगर आपको ये इन्फॉर्मेशन इंटरेस्टिंग लगती है तो फटाफट गणपति बप्पा मोरिया कहकर अपने दोस्तों के साथ इस वीडियो को शेयर कर दीजिए। और आपका फेवरेट गणपति पंडल कौन सा है हमें कॉमेंट्स में बताइए, ताकि नॉलेज के देवता गणपति बप्पा आप पर प्रसन्न हो जाए।
God of knowledge. I see.
गणपति भारत में से कई लोगों का और मेरा भी फेवरेट फेस्टिवल है।
गणपति
बापा सिर्फ हमारे दिलों पर राज नहीं करते, वो हमारी इकोनॉमी भी चलाते हैं। अगर आप एक बिजनेस ओनर है तो आप फेस्टिवल्स और उनका इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट समझते हैं, क्योंकि शायद फेस्टिवल्स हमारे लिए छुट्टी के दिन होंगे, लेकिन बिजनेसेस के लिए ये हाई ग्रोथ पीरियड है।
आप भी अपना बिजनेस फेस्टिवल सीजन के समय शुरू कर सकते हो, ताकि आप भी इस फेस्टिव स्पेंड का बेनिफिट ले पाओ। एंड वन वे टू बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ द फेस्टिवल इकोनॉमी इज विद द स्पॉन्सर ऑफ टुडेज वीडियो, ओडू। ओडू एक ऑल इन वन मैनेजमेंट सॉफ्टवेयर है, जहां आप अपने बिजनेस की हर रिक्वायरमेंट को पूरा कर सकते हैं। आज की इस इंटरनेट वर्ल्ड में बिजनेस बिना वेबसाइट के ऑपरेट ही नहीं कर सकता। चाहे आप बिजनेस वेबसाइट बनाना चाहते हो या फिर एक ब्लॉग, एक इवेंट वेबसाइट या फिर एक ई लर्निंग प्लेटफॉर्म, ओडू आपको सब में मदद करेगा।
You need to enter the type of website, your business
The
details
biggest
and purpose
festival
of the website, and select your brand
Ganpati is
colors.
also
और
very
let
popular.
Odoo detect colors from your logo.
I see.
आप पेजेस भी सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। ये सारे इनपुट्स लेकर ओडू आपके लिए 3 AI जनरेटेड थीम्स तैयार करेगा और बस आपकी वेबसाइट रेडी है टू पर्सनलाइज, कस्टमाइज योर टेक्स्ट एंड इमेजेस विद इजी ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप ब्लॉक्स। ओडू में रॉयल्टी फ्री इमेजेस भी अवेलेबल है।
अगर आपको इंस्पिरेशन चाहिए, देन ओडू विल यूज AI टू हेल्प यू जनरेट योर वेबसाइट कंटेंट. And it even allows you to add animations, change image shapes and also edit fonts. Add videos too, all for free. Also get a custom domain for free for 1 year. ओडू में आपका पहला ऐप है लाइफ टाइम के लिए फ्री फॉर अनलिमिटेड यूजर्स विद अनलिमिटेड कस्टमर सपोर्ट एंड होस्टिंग, और 580 रुपए पर मंथ के अपग्रेड के साथ आपको ओडू के सारे एप्स का एक्सेस मिल जाएगा।
You can check out Odoo's website builder with the link in our description. So do make sure कि आप आज ही अपनी वेबसाइट बनाएं using Odoo.
फेस्टिवल्स को भारत का इकोनॉमिक ड्राइवर कहते हैं, क्योंकि उनसे एक कॉन्सेप्ट का जन्म होता है कॉल्ड रिपल इफेक्ट। कंजम्पशन बूम, सीजनल एम्प्लॉयमेंट, एक्सपोर्ट इनकम, कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट्स। ये सुनने में कॉम्प्लिकेटेड लगता होगा, लेकिन आपने खुद ऑब्जर्व किया है, एंड आई विल प्रूव इट टू यू।
गणपति बापा इज द गॉड ऑफ प्रॉस्पेरिटी और उनकी शक्ति के दर्शन गणेश फेस्टिवल के दौरान इकोनॉमिक एक्टिविटी के रूप में होते हैं।
सुनकर विश्वास नहीं होगा, लेकिन गणपति के 10 दिनों में सिर्फ मुंबई जैसे एक शहर में 1 लाख करोड़ का इकोनॉमिक टर्नओवर होता है।
To put things in perspective, IPL भारत का सबसे बड़ा स्पोर्टिंग इवेंट है और IPL के दौरान एडवर्टाइजिंग और स्पॉन्सरशिप में 15,000 करोड़ का बिजनेस होता है।
इमेजिन 15,000 करोड़ फॉर IPL जो 2 महीने के लिए चलता है, और 1 लाख करोड़ फॉर गणपति, और ये इतना बड़ा नंबर काफी जस्टिफाइड भी है।
अचानक से ट्रेडिशनल कपड़ों की डिमांड बढ़ती है, फिर वो साड़ी हो या कुर्ता, लोग सज धज कर नए कपड़ों के साथ साथ नए गहने लेकर अपने परिवारजनों से मिलते हैं, और किसी के घर जाते समय खाली हाथ थोड़ी जा सकते हैं। सिर्फ 3 इंडस्ट्रीज टेक्सटाइल, ज्वेलरी और स्वीट्स की बात करें तो टेक्सटाइल सेल्स में 30%, ज्वेलरी में 25% और मिठाइयों में तो 40% बढ़त भारत में देखने मिलती है। और मीठा सिर्फ हम भक्त ही नहीं, गणपति बाप्पा भी तो पसंद करते हैं।
ये है मोदक, जिसका मेन इंग्रेडिएंट होता है कोकोनट। पुणे के एक शहर का डेटा देखें तो सिर्फ 10 दिनों में 35 लाख नारियल बिकते हैं। डिमांड ज्यादा होती है तो प्राइसेस भी बढ़ते हैं।
2010 का डेटा कहता है कि पुणे के कोकोनट मार्केट ने इन 10 दिनों में 1.8 करोड़ का टर्नओवर किया। इमेजिन 1.8 करोड़, और ये डेटा 14 साल पुराना है।
अब पुणे से एक और शहर जाते हैं, नासिक, और देखते हैं नासिक कर गणपति बप्पा की पूजा के लिए कितने फूल खरीदते हैं। ये है नासिक का पंचवटी फूल मार्केट, जहां एक नॉर्मल दिन में ही 20 टन फ्लावर बिकते हैं। 20 टन यानी 10 फुल्ली ग्रोन राइनोस जितने फूल नासिक एक दिन में कंज्यूम करता है, और ये एक नॉर्मल दिन की बात है, उत्सव की नहीं।
गणपति के दौरान मैरीगोल्ड, शेवंती, पारिजात, जैस्मिन और बाप्पा के फेवरेट हिबिस्कस के सेल सीधा डबल हो जाते हैं। यानी थोड़ा सा मैथ करें तो नासिक के एक शहर में इन 10 दिनों में 200 राइनोस के वजन जितने फूल बिकते हैं। That's crazy.
सोचिए, इस एक छोटी सी एक्टिविटी की वजह से न जाने कितने फ्लावर सेलर्स के घर चलते होंगे। ये था रिपल इफेक्ट का पहला मुद्दा, कंजम्पशन बूम। आगे बढ़ते हैं।
महाराष्ट्र के रायगढ़ डिस्ट्रिक्ट में पेड़ रीजन आता है। यहाँ ऐसे अनेक कारखानों में गणपति की मूर्तियां बनती हैं। 2000 से ज्यादा मूर्तिकार अपनी कला के थ्रू मिट्टी से बाप्पा बनाते हैं। कितनी पता है? 30 से 35 लाख मूर्तियां, वो भी हर साल। और इस एक मंगलमय एक्टिविटी से ये मूर्तिकार 600 करोड़ रुपए कमाते हैं। पूरे देश की बात करें तो हर साल 20 करोड़ आइडल्स का
Wait, I know you guys told me what's the difference between lakh and crore again? Lakh was, I think crore was like 1 million. Wait. Yeah, please tell me again. Sorry, I forgot.
फेल होता है।
इसे कहते हैं सीजनल एम्प्लॉयमेंट, जिसका भारत की इकोनॉमी में एक बड़ा रोल है। ये है रिपल इफेक्ट का दूसरा लेवल। लेकिन आपको सुनकर विश्वास नहीं होगा कि कुछ साल पहले तक गणपति की मूर्तियां भी चाइना से इंपोर्ट होती थी, लेकिन कोविड के बाद ये ट्रेंड बंद हुआ। एज अ रिजल्ट हमारे लोकल मूर्तिकारों को 300 करोड़ रुपयों का बिजनेस मिला।
CAIT के इस कैंपेन से पहले फेस्टिव सीजन में 50,000 करोड़ का बिजनेस चाइना को मिलता था। यानी फेस्टिवल हमारा, लेकिन फायदा उनका हो रहा था। अब काफी हद तक ये कम हो चुका है।
इस पॉजिटिव न्यूज के लिए 1 लाख लाइक्स तो बनता है। डेकोरेटर्स, इलेक्ट्रिशियंस, मूर्तिकार, न जाने कितनी ऐसी सीजनल अपॉर्चुनिटीज गणपति बप्पा क्रिएट करते हैं। एस्टिमेट्स कहते हैं कि इन दिनों में 1 लाख लोगों को एडिशनल एम्प्लॉयमेंट अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलती हैं।
Get it?
आज भारत का एक बड़ा पॉपुलेशन भारत के बाहर सेटल हो चुका है। जो लोग काम के लिए बाहर गए हैं, उन्हें अपने परिवार से मिलने का, अपनी मिट्टी से कनेक्ट करने का एक शुभ अवसर होता है ये फेस्टिवल, जो इंडियंस के लिए एक्सपोर्ट इनकम की अपॉर्चुनिटीज बनाता है और हमारे रिपल इफेक्ट की तीसरी कड़ी बनता है।
सोचिए, हर साल भारत $100 बिलियन रेमिटेंसेस के तौर पर रिसीव करता है। ये उन लोगों ने घर भेजे हुए पैसे होते हैं जो कहीं बाहर जॉब करते हैं, लेकिन अब तक अपने परिवार को भूले नहीं है। ये पैसा भारत के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है। साथ ही साथ NRIs का इंडिया में इंटरेस्ट भारत के लिए इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि गणपति के समय एक्सपोर्ट्स भी बढ़ते हैं।
USA और ऑस्ट्रेलिया जैसे देशों में मूर्तियों से लेकर देसी मिठाइयाँ और नमकीन भी एक्सपोर्ट होता है।
Did you know? भारत दुनिया का लार्जेस्ट नमकीन एक्सपोर्टर है। चाइना और स्पेन सेकंड और थर्ड स्पॉट पर आते हैं। देश में 1400 से ज्यादा छोटे बड़े एक्सपोर्टर्स हैं, जिनके 131 देशों में क्लाइंट्स हैं। इंडियन नमकीन मार्केट $108 बिलियन का है।
फेस्टिवल्स के दौरान चितरंजी बाकरवड़ी, मैंगो बर्फी, हल्दीराम के भुजिया और ऑरेंज बर्फी देश के सबसे ज्यादा एक्सपोर्ट होने वाले प्रोडक्ट्स में से एक होते हैं। एक्सपोर्ट सिर्फ प्रोडक्ट्स नहीं, एक आइडिया भी हो सकती है। पिछले साल महाराष्ट्र सरकार ने एक एक्सपेरिमेंट ट्राई किया। पहला इंटरनेशनल गणेश फेस्टिवल ऑर्गेनाइज करने का एक्सपेरिमेंट, जहां उन्होंने टूरिस्ट को मुंबई, पुणे, पालघर और रत्नागिरी में यूनिक एक्सपीरियंसेस ऑफर की। ब्राजील में जैसे कार्निवल होता है और उस समय जैसे इंटरनेशनल टूरिस्ट ब्राजील आते हैं, वैसे ही भारत में क्यों नहीं? आइडिया यही थी।
It makes sense in most countries, yeah. Like when is a festival is a good time to be a tourist. It's more interesting, I guess. So it's a good idea to promote that to tourists, yeah.
एरिया है जहां भारत के लिए बहुत स्कोप है और बहुत कुछ करने जैसा भी। इनफैक्ट जितना करे उतना कम है। तो गणपति फेस्टिवल को एज एन इवेंट, एज एन एक्टिविटी, एज एन एक्सपीरियंस मार्केट करने की जरूरत है। व्हाट डू यू थिंक? कमेंट बिलो।
इन सारे रीजंस की वजह से लोग अपने बिजनेस में और कैपिटल इन्वेस्ट करते हैं।
कंपनीज ऑफर निकालती हैं, प्रमोशन करती हैं, डिस्काउंट चलाती हैं ताकि सेल्स बढ़े।
दुकानदारों की बिक्री डबल होती है। यहाँ तक लोग गाड़ियाँ और नए घर खरीदने के लिए ये मुहूर्त शुभ मानता है। भारत में लोग ऑस्पिशियस बाइंग में विश्वास रखते हैं।
यानी मार्केट में रेट कुछ भी हो, अगर अच्छे दिन पर कुछ खरीदा तो सब अच्छा ही होगा। रियल एस्टेट कंपनी खरीदारों के लिए ऑफर्स लाती है। लोग हाउसिंग लोन लेते हैं, तो बैंकिंग सेक्टर में लोन्स की डिमांड बढ़ती है।
इकोनॉमिक टाइम्स कहता है कि गणेश फेस्टिवल ऑटो इंडस्ट्री के लिए एक बुल रन से कम नहीं।
ये डेटा देखिए, पिछले साल इन 10 दिनों में 1,24,000 फोर व्हीलर्स और 4,67,000 टू व्हीलर्स बिकी। दैट इज ह्यूज।
लेकिन सिर्फ पैसे कमाना इम्पोर्टेंट नहीं है, उन पैसों का होता क्या है ये भी इम्पोर्टेंट है। अगर इस इकोनॉमिक रिपल इफेक्ट को और कुछ स्पेशल बनाता है तो वो है द आर्ट ऑफ गिविंग।
Oh, it is a lot of donation. Yeah, that's right.
हैदराबाद में हर साल एक महालड्डू कंपटीशन होती है, जहां ऐसे बड़े बड़े लड्डूस बनाए जाते हैं और फिर उनका ऑक्शन होता है। ऑक्शन से आने वाला पैसा चैरिटी के लिए यूज होता है। पिछले साल एक 5 किलो का महालड्डू 1.26 करोड़ के लिए ऑक्शन हुआ था और ये सारा पैसा एक नेक काम में यूज हुआ।
मुंबई की जीएसबी सेवा मंडल में तुलाभार सेवा होती है, यानी लोग अपने आप को या किसी अपने को ऐसे बड़े तराजू में तोलते हैं और उतने वजन का खाना, उतने वजन की कोकोनट्स, उतने वजन का प्रसादम या फिर कभी-कभी उतने वजन का सिल्वर भी डोनेट करते हैं।
लोग अपने दिल से दान करते हैं। पिछले साल लाल बाग सा राजा के लिए गणपति के पहले 2 दिनों में ही 1 करोड़ के डोनेशन मिले थे।
लाल बाग सा राजा सिद्धि विनायक मंदिर के ट्रस्ट अपने डायलिसिस सेंटर चलाते हैं, जहां लोगों का इलाज होता है। चिंतकोपरी से चिंतामणि रायगढ़ के एक स्कूल के बच्चों के लिए सप्लाईज भेजता है।
यानी छोटे बड़े पैमाने पर हर एक्टिविटी एक इकोनॉमिक इम्पैक्ट बनाती है। एक फूल वाले से
I mean, I was thinking about doing this video, but yeah, you told me on Discord before, yeah, like in India, there's a pretty massive amount of celebrations, festival, and holidays. And I was thinking, again, like in my view of us, more Western country or my own, like France, where, like often companies or even the government are not that happy about, some of the classic holidays. Like even recently, there was some proposal to like remove 2 holidays to people work more, to make more money, to make up for some of the government spending, right? It's kind of like, I was thinking like, how does it make sense for India to have so many holidays where, it's technically a lot of money lost if people don't work. But I guess I wasn't thinking about it like that. I mean, first, a lot of people work since they have business, and then a lot of people are spending their money even more than before. So in the end, it makes sense. I guess it's kind of like, like the biggest money spending festival, if you will, in France is Christmas, right? Even though most people don't believe in it for like the religion, it's just like, it's a festival of just giving presents to people, right? And, eating together and going to like restaurants or stuff like that. So I guess it is used as a period where a lot of money is being used and made. So I guess it makes sense, yeah. I mean, I would, if I were to talk to Mr. President of France, I would say, Mr. President, look at India. Can't we have more festivals like that and more holidays like that, So more money is being spent and more is being, made and all that. It seems like a good idea. Rather than like taking some of them off, let's make more, How about that? But he would probably say no. So, yeah. But I think I get it, is what I'm trying to say. Outside of the joke, yeah. I get the point. In the end, there's not money lost with all the festivals and holidays. It's all kind of like, in a sense, it's actually pretty smart because, yeah, it's a big incentive and motivation for people to spend everybody at once and so much of it too. So, makes sense.
से लेकर रियल एस्टेट तक और मूर्तिकार से लेकर ई कॉमर्स तक हर एरिया में गणपति बप्पा अपनी छाप छोड़ते हैं। और ऐसे ही गणपति बप्पा हर साल भारत की इकोनॉमी को बचाते हैं,
क्योंकि भारत में 10 करोड़ लोग इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में काम करते हैं। हमें उन सब की जरूरत है।
देश का पॉपुलेशन एक 2-धारी तलवार है। अगर ये पॉपुलेशन बेकार रहा, बेरोजगार रहा, तो इस देश का कुछ नहीं हो सकता। और सच यही है कि कोई भी कंपनी, कोई भी सरकार हम सब के लिए जॉब्स जनरेट नहीं कर सकती।
देश में हर साल 20 मिलियन जॉब्स की जरूरत है और हम सिर्फ 5 मिलियन नए जॉब्स बना सकते हैं। बाकी के 15 मिलियन लोगों को जॉब्स मिलने वाले नहीं है। ये भारत की सच्चाई है।
गणपति के दौरान प्रोडक्टिव होता है, कुछ ना कुछ काम होता है।
2020 और 2021 में कोविड की वजह से हम घर से बाहर नहीं निकल सकते थे और हमें वर्क फ्रॉम होम करने की सुविधा थी, लेकिन ये प्रिविलेज इन 10 करोड़ इनफॉर्मल सेक्टर में काम करने वाले लोगों के पास कहाँ था?
वो आपके कंजम्पशन पर डिपेंडेंट थे कि आप उनसे फूल खरीदे, उनसे नारियल खरीदे, किसी डेकोरेटर को सोसाइटी में बुलाएं, उन्हें गणपति पंडल बनाने का मौका दे। कोविड के बाद अगर भारत ट्रैक पर आया है तो वो गणपति बप्पा की देन है, इस फेस्टिव इकोनॉमी की देन है। आज हम देखते हैं कि भारत दुनिया की फास्टेस्ट ग्रोइंग मेजर इकोनॉमी बन रहा है, लेकिन 3 या 4 साल पहले के भारत के बारे में सोचिए, जब एक झटके में कोविड ने हमसे 1/4 जीडीपी छीन लिया था। तब से अब तक का सफर पॉसिबल इसी फेस्टिव इकोनॉमी की वजह से हुआ है।
रक्षाबंधन
But yeah, then I guess, as he was saying earlier, that's a double-edged sword too, like this system of relying on festivals, right? Because depending on stuff like COVID and potentially also, some natural disaster and some of the consequences of, I don't know, global warming, etc. Like, there's a lot of potential things that might actually put some stop at time to some of this festival. And then if even one doesn't happen, I guess it's a big problem that year. So it's a double-edged sword to rely on them. So maybe that's why, you know, it's obviously not a perfect system, but it's also, it makes a lot of sense, but also, I guess it's also like kind of dangerous. Yeah.
आनंद से ओणम, गणेश चतुर्थी सेलिब्रेशन, फिर नवरात्रि, दशहरा, दिवाली, इन फेस्टिवल्स की वजह से भारत की इकोनॉमी ट्रैक पर आई है, यही सच है।
अगर आपको इस वीडियो का पॉइंट समझा तो इसे अपने दोस्तों के साथ शेयर कीजिए। एंड वी थैंक ओडू फॉर स्पॉन्सरिंग दिस केस स्टडी। चेक आउट ओडू फॉर देयर ग्रेट प्रोडक्ट्स फॉर ऑल योर।
Alright, I'll pause here. I think it's just outro stuff. But yeah, very interesting. I mean, I will definitely check out some of the songs for this festival. You know, I think I'll obviously clip this video right here and I'll post it, you know, on the day of the start of the festival. And then maybe not every day, but I'll do some of the songs that you shared about it here. But yeah, seems like a cool, you know, festival, I guess. Definitely, I would say I enjoyed it. And I've learned about things. But now I'm hungry from like the few bits of food that they showed. I'm hungry. Yeah. Really nice festival. Okay, how about to watch one last video for today? Let's choose one. What do we have? I get things open around here. Right here. Nothing new on Discord. Okay. So this one I said I might pass and watch next time. Those are kind of long. This one's like an essay video. If anyone has any videos, like maybe a shorter one, if you guys have any idea of something you want to suggest, something like 10 minutes, I'd be interested. I think that would be just right now. Like all the one I get left are a bit long, you know. Attend the long festivals so you can post them in a while, yeah. For sure. Here we go. I'll close this one. This one. Let's see what YouTube recommends me. No, with the India account, Switch account. Here we go. Let's see what my YouTube recommendation looks like now that I've watched only India video on this channel. Yeah, okay. There might be some choice here. 1 hour, that's too long. World Chess Champion. Trailer songs, yeah. Cricket. Now I've got all the videos about explaining cricket. That makes sense actually. Now there's a bunch of stuff about chess, of course. So many stuff about chess. Let's refresh. Refresh, please. Trailers. Something about like another house to visit. So many videos about chess. Now they want me to learn about chess. I don't want to learn chess. Mrs. Dhoni insane wicket keeping skills. Okay. I guess I'll try, but I'm scared we're gonna get blocked, as it happened before with cricket. Let's find out. So, MS Dhoni instant wicket keeping video by Bleed Cricket and partner world boss Dhamaka. This is a good batter. Easy. Wait, no, it's the... Okay, I'm stupid, it's the catcher, basically? I forgot the exact term. I see. The protector. Perfect placement. Very close, huh? Whoa. That jump. I'd be jitty if I was the batter. That was a good hit. Alright. Nice catch after nice catch. I'm confused though, when you've grabbed the ball, why do you need to also push the wicket off? Because like, if you've grabbed the ball, they've lost. So I don't get it. I'm sure it was explained before in the explanation video, but I might have forgotten. Oh. You got both of them with one hand. Chad move. I like the way it lights up. That looks pretty nice. Yeah, I guess it's part of the rule to push it off. It just does it every single time. Instantly, yeah. It's not that I was so close to it, so you can just do it in a fraction of a second. No distance. It's like he's already moving to touch it before he's even catch the ball. Impressive, impressive. Sometimes he's right behind it, but sometimes he's standing kind of far away. Oh, right in his hand. It's so fast, a fraction of a second. I almost feel like it's not reflex, right? It's more like he knows almost exactly where the ball is gonna end up, so it's kind of already placed. It's kind of insane. It's like prediction ability. Very nice. I definitely don't understand all of these plays. I'm still a baby for cricket, right? But some of them are definitely very impressive, even without too much knowledge. Awesome. So if the batter touches the other side of the line with his bat, that would make him lose, but he's always too fast, I guess. Okay, very impressive. Definitely very, very impressive. I guess it's probably one of the best players in that catcher position. Very impressive. Okay, well, that was nice. That was nice. Alright then, I think we'll leave it with this video today. But hey, that was a good 3.5-hour stream. We watched like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 videos. I mean, I didn't quite watch 500 videos for 500 subscribers, you know. Shame on me, I guess. Yeah. But don't worry. For 1000 subscribers, we'll watch 1000 videos. For sure. But yeah, that was fun, nonetheless. You know, I'm glad we finally watched the Hinduism video, so I got a better idea. The one about cricket, because I've seen it recommended a few times. You know, I've been slow, but we finally watched it. And yeah, a lot of interesting stuff. I mean, you know, we'll definitely do this again. Don't promise to do it too often or anything. You know, the mainstreaming for me is still the other channel for now. Who knows how things will change. Never say never, right? Though I do want to do more stream on this channel, but I can't promise it will be very often. Yeah, I have no idea how fast we will get to 1000. I have no idea what I'll do for 1000. We'll see. I mean, it might be in a while or soon, you never know, right? I mean, I just didn't expect 500 subs on this channel so fast, right? Thank you, Neil. It was blazing. I mean, if I think of all my YouTube channel, you know, like my first YouTube channel back in 2012 to 15, I got maybe like, I don't think I even got 100 subs. I mean, I didn't post a lot, right? Like one time I posted one let's play of a game, then I posted a few random videos here or there, right? Then my second channel, and third and fourth channel about different things that I did. They also like didn't get much than a few dozen subs, right? But again, I wasn't really taking them seriously. It was like posting random stuff. 1000 minutes stream for 1000 subs. But it's not that long. I don't know. I mean, it is pretty long. It is pretty long for me. you know, then my first big channel where I was really focusing on it was an anime reaction channel back in 2017-18. You know, I was posting like 25-minute video, like 3 or 4 a day. I was posting a lot, but you know, back then my reaction was terrible, right? That's when I was like just very low level as a human being, I would say. So like that channel, even though I did it for like 2 years, it got like, I think I got 500 subscribers, but after like a year and a half or something, by the time I decided to stop, right? Then, you know, there was like the channel that I did in 2020, where I came back to do anime reaction. That one got like 300 subs. And then I would see my other channel that got 18,000 subs right in 4 years. But yeah, again, to reach 500 subs, this was like by far the fastest. So I thank you, all of you, obviously. You know, we're gonna continue doing songs, trailers, random video like this once in a while. Maybe movies eventually. Still thinking of how to do that really. I'm not quite sure yet. I do want to do it, but I don't know how to do it. So I'm thinking. And I'm a slow thinker. But yeah, song will still be probably like the main focus, right? I think that's what I enjoy doing the most, you know, just reacting to songs. Maybe compilation once in a while, like we've done recently. I've actually got 2 more compilation recorded. One was like the top 100 song of the Black and White era, and the other one was like the top 50 India female singer, I think. This video should be coming out this week, probably. I do have a lot of video recorded in advance, a lot, just for this week, right? I try to have some in advance, because someday I can't record, right? That's always the thing. But yeah, so yeah, that was a good stream. I guess it was mostly Balatia's video we watched. Balatia, thanks so much. I mean, obviously, you've helped me a ton since the beginning, with all your comments, all the video you shared between songs and all that. I really appreciate it, and yeah, I think that's the gist of it. Huh? In the next stream, random stream or this channel stream, I might pick more, yeah. And again, if you guys have any more suggestions, my Discord is open. You find the link in the description. As you can see, there's a ton of like channels, indie songs suggestion, Marathi, South Indian, other India language. Then you have live music, movie, so like movie trailers and stuff like that. Then you have random video, so like what I watched today, right? And then you have compilation. So, you know, if you guys have any videos, you can always leave them in comments. That's fine with me. But you can also share them on Discord. And there's also like other channels on Discord where you can talk about stuff if you wanted. That is okay with me. But yeah, fun stream. I hope it will not get blocked. We'll see. And yeah, more video coming. Actually, I think there's a video that probably just came out. I did schedule one. What is it? Let me see. What did I schedule for today? Let me tell you. YouTube channel. Here we go. What came out? Oh yeah, it was this one. It was a female rapper, Runal Shankar, doing some rapping on MTV Assault 3. That's what I posted today. So you can check that out if you're interested. But yeah, that will be it for now. Thank you again for 500 subs. Have a good day, good night, good morning, good week, and yeah. I mean, if you want more stream, I guess it will be on my other channel, as always. Not especially related to India, but more streams about a bunch of different stuff, basically. Anyway, thank you guys for coming to this first stream, and I'll see you guys next time. See you.